everybody. Just give us one moment. Check the sound. It's like, you might turn that air on when you come back?
Yes, sir.
Water.
Right. The wine's gonna be fine. Nigga really learning the Bible. Or right now. I'm like, oh, I didn't know this. Oh. I mean.
Check. This should be good. Check. One second. All right, Shalom Israel. Shalom Rabbi Shem Yahshua to the brothers. Shalom Yahshua Shem Yahshua to the sisters. We at the Isupk Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge started out at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commander General Yohanan, and we are not affiliated with any other Hebrew Israelite group. Today, as you already know, it's a Sabbath service. We've been going through Genesis. Today, we're actually just going to be beginning Genesis chapter 3. So as you know, if you've already been tuning in, we're going to read the first 7 verses. So we're going to be reading Genesis 3, 1 through 7 through the Hebrew. Please note, we'll be reading through the Hebrew, and we're going to be going over in the English. We'll be continuing with the breakdown of the creation of everything. As you know, if you've been tuning in, paying attention, Genesis, which means in the beginning, this is the first book in the Bible. This is the beginning of everything. This is the creation of everything: the moon, the stars, the sun, life, beasts, humans, man, woman, everything. So now we're getting into chapter 3. If you really want to pay attention, you shouldn't pay attention this whole time, but chapter 3 is where, I'm not going to give it away, but we start getting into a very famous account that even for people who have never read the Bible, they've heard of this. Right? It's been a famous saying for a very, very long time. But I ain't gonna give it away. Wait till we actually read it. But other than that,
No, sir.
All right, so now with that being said, Amadium, just me and the brother Peter. It means to stand in the Hebrew.
Layashala, which means to Israel.
Majum Wapanya Hakodum, which means to rise and face the east. We'll be doing the prayers in the Hebrew and then the English. The Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. Abanawa, Shabbat Shemayim, Kodash, Haya, Shamka, Yahweh, Malakwaka, Daba'a, Batazaka, Haya, Aisha, Ba'arataza, Kawa, Haya, Bashmayim, the Thunlanawa, the Kam, Kal, Yawam, Wasalaknawa, Kabawaknawa, Kasalaknawa, Kabawaknawa, Wala'a, Dabaya'anawa, Bunasai one, a ball, our shy now, Mayan, right, Kaya, Laka, Hamalakba, Waha'ala, Wa'ata Pa'ara, the I will Amen.
Now this is the Lord's Prayer in English.
Our Father, which art in heaven,
Hallowed be thy name.
hallowed be thy name.
Yahweh. Thy kingdom come.
Thy kingdom come,
Thy will be done.
thy will be done
In earth.
in earth
As it is in
as
heaven.
it is in heaven.
Give us this day.
Give us this day
our daily bread.
our daily bread,
Forgive us our debts.
and forgive us our debts
As we forgive our debtors.
as we forgive our debtors.
And lead us not
And lead us not
into temptation,
into temptation,
but deliver us
but deliver us from evil.
For thine is the
For
kingdom
thine is the kingdom
and the power
and the power
and the glory
and the glory
forever.
forever.
So be it.
So be it.
Amen.
Amen. Hakach, the power in the Hebrew. Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Ba'ashem.
Ba'ashem.
Yahweh Shah.
Yahweh.
Babu Kashah.
Shah.
The thunder now.
Thunlanawa.
Hakach. Hakach.
Hakah.
Lord Pa'ah.
Hakah.
Kal Maka Allah.
Call my Allah.
The Kal Malawa.
Call my wow.
Hakach.
Hakah.
Latahar.
Hakah.
Hamata Zarayam. Hakach.
Hakah.
Lahakwanyam.
Hakah.
Hamatim.
Hakah.
Hakach. Al Rakawah.
Hakah.
Hatama Allah.
Hakah.
The Garshan. Ba'ashem. Yahweh Shah. The
Yahweh.
water.
Water.
Amen.
Now in the English. Yahweh. In
Yahweh.
the name of Yahweh.
In the name of Yahweh Shah.
Please
Please
give us the power.
give us the power.
Power to heal.
The power to heal.
All manner of sickness.
All manner of sickness
And all manner of disease.
and all manner of disease.
Power to cleanse the leper.
The power to cleanse the leper.
The power to raise the
The
dead.
power to raise the dead.
Power against
The
unclean
power
spirits.
against unclean spirits.
Cast them out.
To cast them out.
In the name of Yahweh.
In the name of Yahweh Shah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So be it.
So be it. This is the blessings in the Hebrew. But Barakatah Yahweh.
Barakatah Yahweh.
Why Yahweh Shah?
Why Yahweh Shah.
Why Ma'aka Allah? Why
Allah.
Allahayim?
Why
Matazab Ya'ah?
Zab Yah.
Allah Wap Yahana. Hala Wampyam.
Allah Wap.
Hasa Zaranyam.
Hasa Wap.
Hakwata Zaryonyam.
Hakah.
Haka Yayonyam.
Hakah Yah.
Waha Awakyam.
Wap.
Yahweh. Ba'ashem. Yahweh Shah.
Yahweh Shah.
Do Wala. Amen.
Now in English. Bless you, Yahweh.
Bless you, Yahweh.
And Yahweh Shah.
And Yahweh Shah.
And Michael.
And Michael.
And the angels.
And the angels.
Commanding General.
Commander Junior Hunter. The generals. The captains. The officers.
The
The troopers.
and the sisters.
And the sisters.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
In the name of Yahweh
In
Shah.
the name of Yahweh Shah. Thank you. So be it. Psalms 121 in the Hebrew. Asha I Ayanya. All Aharyam. Bayan. Yaba'ah. Azoria. Ma'ain. Yahweh. Aisha. Shemayim. Wa'arataza. Ayathan. Lamawat. Regalka. All Yanawam. Shamarka. Hana. La'ah. Yanawam. Wala'ah. Yashani. Shawamar. Yasha'ala. Yahweh. Shamarka. Yahweh. Tazarka. Al-Yad. Yamyanka. Yawamam. Hashmash. La'ah. Yakaka. Wayarak. Malayala. Yahweh. Yashamarka. Makal. Rag. Yashamar. After the Pashka. Yahweh. Yashamar. Taza Afka. Wabba Aka. Ma'aita. Ma'ait. I will.
Now this is Psalm 121 in English. I will lift up my eyes into the hills.
I will lift up my eyes into the
From
hill.
whence cometh my help?
From whence cometh my help?
My help comes from the
My
Lord,
help coming from the Lord,
which made heaven
which made heaven
and earth.
and
He
earth.
will not suffer thy foot
He will
to be
not
moved.
suffer thy foot to be moved.
He that keepeth thee
He that keepeth thee
will not slumber.
will not slumber.
Behold,
Behold,
he that keepeth
he
Israel
that keepeth Israel
shall not slumber,
shall not slumber
nor sleep.
nor sleep.
The Lord is thy keeper.
The Lord is thy keeper.
The Lord is thy shade
The Lord is thy shade
upon thy right hand.
upon thy right hand.
The sun shall not smite
The
thee by
sun
day,
shall not smite thee by day,
nor the moon by night.
nor the moon by night.
The Lord shall preserve
The Lord shall preserve thee
all
from
evil.
all evil.
He shall preserve thy soul.
He shall preserve thy soul.
The Lord shall preserve thy going
The
out
Lord shall preserve thy going out
and thy coming in.
and thy coming in
From this time
from this time forth and even forevermore. Psalms 83 in the Hebrew. Alahayim. Al Damiyala Ka.
all them yellow
Al Taka Arash.
all the
Wa Al Tashakwat.
all that's quiet.
All.
All
Kaya. Ana. Our Yab Yaka. Yahama. Yawan. Ra'ash. Al Aimaka. Ya Iwa Yamwa. Sawada. Wayata. Ya Atazawa. Al Tazapawanyaka. Armawa. Lakawa. Wala Kakila. Magaya. Wala Ah. Yazakar. Shum. Yasha'ala. Our Dub. Kaya. Nawa Atazawa. Laba. Yakadwa. Alyaka. Baria. Yakarathwa. Ahaya. Alawam. Wa. Yashma. Alayam. Mawa Abba. Wahagaria. Gabal. Wama 1. Wama Lak. Halashah, I'm Yeshabah, Taza War, Gum Ashawar, Nalawa, Amam, Hayawa, Darawai, the Bunya, the Wat, Salah, Aisha, Laham, the Magan, Kasaya, Sara'ah, Kayabia, Banakaro, Yashwan, Nasha Mawa, Bayan, Dara, Hayawa, Daman, La Dama, Shatamwa, Nada, Yamawa, Kaira, Wakaza Abu, Wakaza Bak, Wakaza Zalmanai, Hall, Nasai Yakamwa, Shah, Amarwa, Naira Shah, Nanawa, Ah, Nawa, Alahayam, Alahayam, Shatamwa, the Gargula, Kakwash, the Punya, Rabaka, Kaash, Daba Ira, the Ira, Wa, Kalahaba, Talahat, Hariam, Khan, Dawadama, like Basa Iwaka, Wabasa, the Pasta, Tabahalam, Mala'a, Panyaham, Kuala Waya, Quashwa, Shamka, Yahawa, Yabashwa, Waya, Bahawa, Ayai, Waya, Kaparwa, Waya, Abawa, Waya, Dawa, Kaya, Atha, Shamka, Yahawa, Labaka, Al-Yuan, Al-Kal, Al-Ratazak.
This is Psalm 83 in the English. Keep not thy silence, O God.
Keep not thy silence, O God.
Hold not thy peace.
Hold not thy peace.
And be not still.
And be not still.
O God.
O God. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult.
They that hate
and they that hate thee have lifted up the head.
They have taken crafty counsel.
They have taken crafty counsel
against thy people.
Against thy people.
And consulted
against thy hidden ones.
They have said,
Come,
and
let us cut them off
being a nation.
From being a nation.
The name of Israel.
That the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance.
For they have consulted together.
With one consent.
They are confederate against
thee.
The tabernacles of Edom
and
the Ishmaelites
of Moab
and the Hagarene,
Gabal,
and Amalek,
the Philistines,
with the inhabitants of Tyre.
Assur also is joined with them.
They have hope in the children of Lot.
Salah. Do unto them
as unto the Midianites,
as to Sisera,
as to Jabin,
at the brook of Kasam,
which perished at Endor.
It's like
They became as dumb for the
they became as dumb for the earth.
Make the nobles like
Make the nobles like Oreb
and like Zaid.
and like Zaid.
Yea, all their princes
as Zabah,
and as
and as Amunia,
who said,
let us take to
ourselves
the houses of God
in possession.
Oh my God. Make them like a wheel,
As the stubble
before the wind,
as
as the fire burns the wood, and as the flames set the mountains on fire. So persecute them with thy tempest, and make them afraid with thy storm.
Fill their
faces with shame,
that they may seek thy
name.
O Lord.
O Lord,
Let them be confounded
and troubled forever.
Yea,
let them be put to shame
and perish.
and purge.
That men
That men may know that thou,
whose name alone
is
is
Yahweh,
art
the most high of all earth.
You may be seated. All right, so like I said earlier, for anybody who hasn't tuned in earlier, we're going to be reading out of the book of Genesis, chapter 3, verses 1 through 7. Priest and Officer Alatazar is going to be reading the first 7 verses to the Hebrew, and then we're going to give the breakdown in the English. And if you haven't already, please like, share, and subscribe.
All right. This is the book of Genesis, chapter 3, verses 1 through 7 in the Hebrew. Wahana Kaash, Wahana Kash, Hayahah, or Arawam, Makal, Kaya, Hasadah, Ashar, Aisha, Yahweh, Alahayim, Waya Amar, Alaha Asha, Lapa Kaya, Amar, Alahayim, La'a, Ta'aka, Lawa, Makal, Atazah, Hagun, Wata Amar, Ha'asha, Allah, Hanakash, Maparia, Itazah, Hagun, Na'akal, Wamaparia, Ha'atazah, Ashar, Batawat, Salaka, Hagan Amar Alahayim La'a the Akawa Mamawa Wala'a Daga Awa Bawa Pun Damatawan Waya Amar Hanukas Salaki Allah Ha'asha La'a Mawaf Damatawan Kaya Yaba'ai Alahayim Kaya Bayawam a call to come Mamawa Wanapa Kwakawa Awa Na'akum Wahaya Yatam Ka'al Lahayam Yadaya to 1 Wara'a verse 6 Watara'a Ha'asha Kaya to Wab Ha'ataza Lama Akal Wakaya Ta'awa Hawa'a La'ai Yala Yum Wana Kama Ha'ataza Lahash Kaya Wata Kwaka Mapar Yawa Wata Akal Wata Thun Gum La'ai Yasha Ama Waya Akal verse 7 Wata Pa Kwakana Ayanaya Shayahum Waya Da'awa Kaya Ataramum Hum Waya Taparawa the Parwa Salaki Waya the Parwa Allah the Anab Waya Aishwa Lahum Kagarath.
All right, Most High in Christ. All right, so back up real quick. Yeah, good to always study the Hebrew. We got a couple people in.
We do.
So we got Salakia. If I pronounce your name incorrectly, we have a sister by the name of Brittany. Is it Brittany or Brittany? Salakia. Shalom, sis. We have somebody else, Llewellyn. And we have Sister Bathar Awana, Most High in Christ.
Always.
It's always good to see you, sis. All right, so for those of y'all who are just turning in, we're reading out of the book of Genesis, chapter 3, verses 1 through 7. So before we begin, again, quick recap. We're going over the creation and everything. So last time we read about chapter 2, and we were reading about the knowledge, the tree of knowledge of good and evil.
Right.
And why the Lord commanded us to not eat of that tree. I'm going to just backtrack a little bit real quick, right? So I'm going to go to the book of Genesis, chapter 2, verse 16, before we get to chapter 3. If you could. Sure.
The book of Genesis, chapter 2, verse 16.
Go ahead.
And the Lord God commanded the man, saying, of every tree of the garden, thou mayest freely eat.
So every tree. Now, for context, this isn't talking about a literal tree. We broke this down last class and a couple classes ago. The tree is not a literal tree. This is figuratively speaking. This is talking about other nations, other things that you should not and you should be known. So now it says of every tree of the garden, it's talking about, the Garden of Eden, you can eat of this. You can eat of this knowledge. You can learn this. You can learn that, right? Now go to verse 17.
Verse 17. But of the tree of knowledge of good and evil, thou shalt not eat of it.
Now it said, of the tree of knowledge of good and evil, you shall not eat of that. Now, how we broke this down last time, think of it like this, right? You learn everything that you have today, right? So now, at one point in time, you didn't do drugs. At one point in time, you did not commit sin. You didn't even know what the concept of sin was. But you learn of sin. Why? Because you see it on TV. You learn about drugs because somebody introduced you to drugs. You learned about cigarettes because somebody showed you what a cigarette was. The Bible says that you're not supposed to eat pork, right? You never ate pork until it was introduced to you. These are the things that you are not supposed to learn of. Why, though? Why are you not supposed to be an adulterer? Why are you not supposed to be an adulteress? Why are you not supposed to be somebody who unalives other people?
Come on.
Why? Why are you not supposed to be in these things? This is called the tree of evil. These are the bad things that you're not supposed to learn. And I'm gonna pick up where you left off real quick.
Yes, sir.
Where it says in verse 17, but of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, thou shalt not eat of it. Why though? For in the day that thou eatest thereof, meaning you do start to learn to do drugs. You become a drug dealer. You become somebody that harms other people.
Right.
You become a thief.
A thief.
A thief. You become an adulterer.
Right.
You become the kind of man that you don't care. You know what? I don't care if this woman has a man already. I'm still gonna sleep with her.
Right.
You don't care anymore. You a woman, and you think, well, you know, I don't care if I got a man already. I'm still gonna sleep with this man, that man. Now you're dining on the tree of evil.
Right.
These are the bad things. And why does it say not to do this? For in the day that thou eatest thereof, thou shalt surely die.
Come on.
And how we broke this down last class, we're just doing a brief recap. You shouldn't do this because you should surely die. Now, does that always mean literally?
Right.
Like, now we can get into like a literal term. If you're an alcoholic and you're drinking and driving all the time, sadly, one day you may pass away.
Right.
Or you might cause somebody else to pass away because you're going to get into a car wreck.
Right.
You're under the, driving under the influence, DUI, right? You're not supposed to be doing this type of thing. So it could be literal. You might actually pass on.
Right.
But then there's another way that spiritually you can die. You can die spiritually by becoming what? Depressed. You become chronically depressed. Now you're an alcoholic. Why?
Right.
To deal with that depression. It's a depressant. Now you're drinking and drinking and drinking to kind of push it down. All right. You might have gotten abused at a very young age.
Right.
Now you become violent. Now you're violent towards other people. Now, let's say let's say you were the type of person that grew up in a domestically violent household. You know, your parents would always beat each other. You had a father who was very abusive towards your mother and you. Well, guess what? Let's say, hypothetically, right? You're a woman. You grew up seeing that your whole life. Now you grow up. Now you get with a man who's just like your father.
Right.
And now from the outside looking in, we're looking like, why would you do that? Like, that's a bad thing. You shouldn't get with a man like that. But
right.
The thing is, that's all you know.
Right.
Your father, your abusive father, if he's a bad father, introduced you to what? Evil.
Right.
That was an evil thing he did. And sadly, because you learned this, you got older, and then you think that this is normal.
You searched it out.
You searched it out. Now you're going to be with a man who is abusive.
And you know what's crazy, if I may?
Go ahead.
A lot of women started. I have personal stories, not that happened to me, but I know men. I hang with men. I'm a dude. The woman who literally comes from an abusive background will, when she's seeing domestic violence in her household, she will lay hands on a man just to now be in a abusive household. Just because the man's not going to stand for you just putting your hands on him. If he's not smart enough, he's not wise enough to just leave you alone. He's going to start abusing you. And now here's what you think. You think this is how a relationship goes. Now you both walk around with black eyes. He's going to end up in prison because he can't put hands on you. And you're going to end up with black eyes. This is what you've learned that. This is the tree of knowledge of good and evil. The Lord did not intend for us to be that way. The Lord did not intend for us to be sinners. The Lord did not intend for the house of Israel, for the families, for the trees in this garden to be sinners like everybody else. He did not give his laws to us so we could break them. He did not give his laws, his statutes, his commandments to Adam so he could go out and break them. Adam did not give the laws to Eve so she could go out and break them. Noah didn't give everything was passed down from Adam to Noah. Noah didn't give his sons the laws to break them. They learned them from other nations. They learned them from other people, fleshly lust. The Lord chose us to be a holy and special people. You steady eat from the tree of knowledge of good and evil, and you learn it. This is what he's bringing out. Don't be that. Come back to the garden now. Spiritually, come back to the garden. Like,
no, it's well. So that's just a brief recap of what we've been going over, right? So the reason why we're going over this is because now this leads into chapter 3.
Right.
Now you've learned of the knowledge of good and evil. And we were not supposed to eat, well, it's like this is before Israelites, but at this time, the people who were around at this time, they were not supposed to eat of this. Adam was instructed not eat of this. Eve was told not to eat of this.
Right.
Right? Let's take that into context. So now we'll get to where we're supposed to be at. The book of Genesis, chapter 3, verse 1.
The book of Genesis, chapter 3 and verse 1. Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field, which the Lord God had made. And he said unto the woman, Yea, have God said ye shall not eat of every tree of the garden?
Now,
let's go, sir.
Before we even
let's go.
Continue from that, right?
Right.
So it says, now the serpent
come on
was more subtle than any beast of the field which the Lord God had made. And he said unto the woman, now, a lot of people will think of this literally. You have been taught that this was a literal snake.
Right.
You think that this is Disney. We're talking animals. Like there was a snake that slithered down and started talking to a woman. No, that's not what it was.
Right.
Like black people, how we say like you shady.
You a snake.
You a snake. You a snake. This was not really a snake. It was not a literal beast. This was a person.
Right.
This was a man. This was a shady man who went to a woman and said unto her, yea, hath God said, you shall not eat of every tree of the garden? Question mark.
Come on.
Now, so like, you got anything before we continue? Because I know it's about to get into it.
Where you want to go? Because I mean, I want to break down serpent. I want to break down beast.
Mm-hmm.
We might got to break down tree again.
We will.
Okay. Where you want to start? Where you want to start, sir?
You got anything for verse 1 before we continue?
Yeah, of course. Okay, let's get to serpent. Let's figure out what this serpent is and why the Lord refers to this man as a serpent. As the officer brought out, you call a snake a snake. A person, you have to. Here's what we're trying to get you to do. We're trying to get you to unravel your brain from Christianity. We was talking about it in the car. When you read this Bible, you need to uphold to logic. There's only logic in this Bible. There's no magic in this Bible. There's nothing magical about this. This is logic. Think how black people think. Black men wrote this. Hispanic men wrote this. Native American men wrote this. So I want you to really think. When we call a person a snake, we're not talking about a literal snake. We're talking about a person with sneaky actions. A person that's subtle.
You have what is it? Ulterior motive.
Ulterior motive. A person who's not upfront with how they come. Let's get what I want to start at. Let's go to Revelation 12 and 9, if I may.
Good.
Now these are all we're precepting today. You better have it ready. We're precepting today. I want you to understand why these words are being used in this Bible. Let's go to the book of Revelation, chapter 12, verse 9. And the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent. That old serpent. And remember, Revelation is at the end. Genesis is at the beginning. That's what Genesis means, beginning. This old serpent in the beginning, the one with Adam and Eve, he was cast out, that old serpent, called the devil. Mm-hmm. And Satan, which deceiveth the whole world, he was cast out into the earth, and his angels was cast out with him.
Now, Slakia, what is a devil?
A devil comes from the Greek word diablo. It comes from the Greek word diablo, which means it's an epithet attributed to a man who is a man.
So this is a man. It's not a literal serpent,
right?
It's not a snake.
This is an epithet. If you don't know, an epithet is what you will be remembered by. You put an epithet on someone's stone heads after they passed away. Say what this person was known for. When people come up and give a eulogy, they're doing epithets. So Diablo or devil is an epithet, meaning someone who's anti-God, anti-Christ, someone, a person. Here's what we're trying to get you to understand. Mm-hmm. God gave his laws already to Adam. Right. Right now, this person that is anti-God, he's now getting into Eve's mind. He's now being subtle with her.
Mm-hmm. So this is a man. So we all know that this is a man, right?
Yes, sir.
So we just read it. You read it in Revelation. Right?
I did, sir.
So this is a man. A devil is also what? A liar.
A deceiver.
A deceiver. So when it says, going back to verse 1, can you go back to Genesis chapter 3, verse 1? Sir?
The book of Genesis chapter 3, verse 1. Now the serpent.
So again, the serpent, we just read it in the Bible. You know, we're not trying to make nothing up. We're talking about a man who was referred to as what? A devil.
Come on.
So a deceiver.
Right.
Somebody who is lying. And this is why he is a liar. Keep reading the rest of verse 1.
Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field which the Lord God had made. Mm-hmm. And he said unto the woman, yea, have God said ye shall not eat of every tree of the garden?
So now there's a question mark at this. So it's like a question. Yea, hath God said, ye shall not eat of every tree of the garden? But we just read earlier that the Lord said, you can eat of these trees.
Right.
But there's one tree that he don't want you to eat of.
Right.
And that's the tree of good and evil.
Come on.
But now here comes this quote unquote serpent.
Right.
This evil person.
Right.
This liar, this devil. And now he's saying, yea, hath God, ye shall not eat of every tree of the garden?
Come on.
Why do you think he's saying it like that? Because he's a deceiver.
Right.
And he's saying this to a woman. Right. Now, before we continue,
yes,
I
want to ask you a question. What is a devil? We just know he's a person that's deceitful evil. I want you to who is Satan? What is Satan? What are the characteristics of these things? These are things you should question. These are things you should ask to find out the answer to. Remember, Christ told Peter, his partner, his ace boon, he told him, hey, get thee behind me, Satan. He told that to Peter. Remember, he talked to the Pharisees in John, the 8th chapter. I believe John 8 and 44. He told the Pharisees, ye are of your father, the devil. Mm-hmm. He's talking to black men. We know that Esau is the devil, but why is he calling other black men Satan and devil? I just proved it. Anyone who is anti-God, anti the will of God. Right. And I want you to understand, which makes you, if you're anti-God, you're what? You're anti-Christ. Where is the Antichrist? Mm-hmm. That's my question for you.
And if I could, real quick, matter of fact, can you go to John 8 and 44?
Yes, sir.
It's like I don't want anybody to think that we're just making this stuff.
Right.
All right. And if I could, real quick, but before you get, I know somebody made a comment saying that we're trying to lead people away from Christianity, yet we're reading out of the Bible. I understand it's confusing, right? It's confusing because sadly, a lot of us have been taught here in America that the Europeans were the ones that created the Bible.
Right.
Europeans did not create the Bible. Now, when it comes to what you know as modern day westernized Christianity, yes, they did create that. Yes, that is what's been pushed out, especially in our communities. You see a lot of black people in a black church, but you got a white Jesus. Right. It don't make no sense, right? That's what's pushed out. I'm just being honest.
Come on.
That's what's being pushed out. But sadly, because we have lost our way and we don't really know everything about our history from way back when, we have been groomed to believe that they're the ones that made this.
Right.
And yes, it's true. They rewrote some stuff.
Right.
Now, the King James Version of the Bible is the most accurate English translation of the original. Now, originally, the Bible was not made in English.
Right.
It was made in Hebrew. It was later in Latin, and then it was later written in Assyrian, and so on and so forth. So a lot of times when we read this, we have this app. You are more than welcome to download it if you want. Or we just study the Lashawan Kodash, which is the Holy Tongue.
Right.
This is the Hebrew. So we get these words and we go to the original etymology of the word to get the right words. Because some of these words are not breaking down or passed on correctly.
Right.
So I just want to get that out the way. So we are not practicing what you know as today westernized Christianity.
Right.
We do not believe in that. We know that that was made to enslave our people. We know that. So we got to break that mindset. However, they did not create this. Right. This was stolen. Absolutely. You start doing your own research, you find out, wait a minute, they ain't really have nothing to do with this.
If I may,
go ahead.
A great point was brought out to me maybe like 3-4 weeks ago, maybe a month ago. Brother said, everybody in America, every Black, Hispanic, Native American, that Esau stole everything from us. But you don't attribute the Bible to that as well.
They stole that.
They stole. This is your history. We're just, all we're doing is going over a history book. We're right now, we're in creation. What is creation? History. Right now, we're showing you Adam was the first man on the earth that was given the law. He wasn't the first man of all time, but he was the first man that was giving the law. He was the first man that was given the rulership of the earth. Now we're breaking down how sin entered the world. Now we're breaking down how Satan entered the world. Now we're breaking down to you these things that you can't comprehend. We're trying to break you from what you've ever thought. We have to break you from that. We have to brainwash you because your brain has been polluted your whole life. Your brain has been polluted. And now we're coming with precept upon precept, line upon line, here a little, there a little, and you doubt what we're saying. That's okay. Here's a verse for you where he wanted me to go.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
This is the book of John, chapter 8, verse 43. Matter of fact, let me start at 42 if I may. Jesus said unto them, if God were your father, ye would love me.
Right. So now this is in red, right?
This is in red.
So this is Yahushua, or as you would know him, Jesus Christ, or
Right.
Christ. He's talking to these Pharisees. He's telling, like, if you, what does it say?
If God were your father,
Okay,
ye would love me.
so you would love me, because God teaches that you should love your people.
Come on.
You should be there. You should be brothers. You
Right.
should be sisters. You should be good husbands, good wives, good sons, good daughters. Sadly, just to give context of what he's reading, at this time period, there were men who were of the same bloodline as Christ.
Right.
And they were trying to unalive him.
Right.
So now he's like questioning them, like, if you did follow God, you would love me.
You would love me.
You wouldn't try to harm me. I'm just doing the work of the Lord. So I'm just giving it with that, right? You good to keep going.
If God were your father, ye would love me.
Right.
For I proceeded forth and came from God.
Right.
Neither came out of myself, but he sent me.
Right.
Verse 43.
Go ahead.
Why do ye not understand my speech?
Mhm.
Even because ye cannot hear my word?
So again, these are his people
Come on.
that he's talking to.
Come on.
So he's like, you say you are the children of God. You say that you are God's chosen people.
Right.
You say that you are holy men of
Right.
the Lord. If that's so,
Why do you understand me?
why don't you understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Because he's not repeating anything that he made.
Right. It's in the Bible.
It's in the Bible. He's repeating the law. The law was given in the original in the Torah.
Yes, sir.
Right. So you can go to the book of Leviticus, you can go over all the laws.
1917.
So he's just telling you the same thing that's been put out for generations.
Moses said.
Moses, don't eat pork, shrimp, and lobster. Don't unalive your brothers. Literally what he's trying to tell them right now. Don't sit here and be an adulterer. Don't be an adulteress.
Come on.
Do not partake in pagan customs from other nations. Don't strive away from the law. Don't be a good person. that's all he's saying. So now he's questioning him, like, man, if you say who you are, why are you trying to harm me?
Right.
You don't understand my speech?
Come on.
Because he's not saying anything foreign. This has been put out way before this. So he's questioning it.
Right.
You got anything before we continue?
Verse 44.
Go ahead.
Ye are of your father the devil. And if I may remind you, we're still at Genesis 3:1. My question to you was, who is the devil? What is the devil? Remember, we just broke down in Revelation 12:9 that devil was that old serpent, that snake.
Right.
Why did he call him the devil? Why did he call him Satan? Remember, he told Peter, get thee behind me, Satan. Now we're reading out in John 8:44 when he's telling the Pharisees, who are leaders of the Jews, he's telling the Pharisees, ye are of your father the devil. Why is he telling them that? We're going to keep reading. Ye are of your father the devil, and the lust of your father ye will do. He was a murderer from the beginning.
He said he's a what?
He was a murderer from the beginning.
So it's talking about a devil.
Come
right?
on.
Now,
He,
again, it's not talking about a snake. Now, where it says in the beginning, right?
from the beginning.
In the beginning, Genesis. Genesis is the first book in the Bible. Genesis in Hebrew means in the beginning.
Come on.
So from the beginning, he was a what?
A murderer.
He was a murderer, a liar, a deceiver, all that. Keep going.
He was a murderer from the beginning and abode not in the truth.
So he was not in the truth. Keep going.
Because there is no truth in him.
Keep going.
When he speaketh a lie,
when
he speaketh a lie.
So what we said earlier, right? A devil, that's also a liar, a deceiver. Keep going.
When he speaketh a lie, he speaketh of his own,
right?
For he is a liar and the father of it.
So when he says you are of your father, the
devil,
what he's saying to these people who are supposed to be his people, right? He's telling them, you say you follow God. You say you in the truth. You say you love me.
Right.
But here you are trying to take my life. You don't serve God.
Come on.
You serve the devil.
Come on.
Because he was a liar from the beginning. They're lying. You cannot sit here. I cannot sit here and say to my own people, like, I love my people. But then I'm trying to sell drugs in my community.
That's crazy.
I'm like,
you're a hypocrite.
I'm a hypocrite. He's calling these people a hypocrite. I cannot say that and say, I love my people, but I'm trying to take your life.
Come on.
That's the same thing that Yahushua, or as you know, Christ is saying to these people. You cannot sit here and say that you are these holy, upstanding men and you love me and this, that, and the third, but you're trying to take my life.
Right.
You are of your father,
The devil.
who was a liar
From the beginning.
You're a liar. You serve a lie. That's who you are. You're not in the truth. Go ahead.
Verse 45. And because I tell you the truth, you believe me not. Here's what's going. I'm telling you, especially, and I'm really looking at these people on TikTok because people in the class right now, they kind of know. But people on TikTok, you don't know. You think we are just lying. We're not lying. We're telling you the truth. We are actually, we're breaking down the Bible. This is how you accurately break down the Bible. This is why you're so confused, because no one ever took the time to explain to you how this works, how this should go. Why do you think all these kingdoms fail? Why do you think America is falling? Why do you think it's on its last leg? Why do you think these wars are coming about? You start coming to class, we will give you these answers. It's up to you. If you ask a question, we give you the answer. It's up to you if you believe us or not. If you don't want to believe us, fine. We don't care. But what we're trying to explain to you is, we're trying to explain to you why you're so confused about Adam and Eve, why you're so confused about the devil, the snake in the Bible, why you're so confused about things that you've never learned. We're trying to teach you. If you was in a classroom learning about physics, and there was a physics teacher, you wouldn't sit there and question him. We sit here all day and try to learn this stuff. And we get the understanding, we get the logic of it. It makes sense, and we come out to present it to you. And you hate us because you don't understand.
Mm-hmm. If I could, real quick, I see some people saying free Palestine. I want to make it very clear, because I know some of y'all might get confused. We've been doing this since 1969.
Right.
We do not support Israel. I want to make that very clear.
At all.
We do not support Israel and what they're doing to the Palestinians. We also are not for the Palestinians either. We're pretty much neutral. What's going on with them, that's going on with them. Now, I want to clarify, it's a horrible thing that's happening to these people. I think it's horrible.
Right.
I think it's horrible.
Because you have sympathy.
Yeah, I do. Like, I have empathy.
Right.
Like, that's a horrible thing. I wouldn't want that to happen to us.
Right.
That's a horrible thing. You see what they're doing in that country. Also, I want to say that now you see that who these people are, the Israelis, the so-called Jewish people who claim to be God's chosen people. You see what they're doing, right? I'm gonna leave it at that. You see what they're doing, so you should start to question who these people really are. I'm gonna leave it at that because I don't want to get too off topic. But now we just read Genesis. You good?
I got the beast.
Oh no, yeah, go ahead.
If I may. So now we're off the serpent, we're off the devil, and it's a man. Now remember, now in Genesis 3:1, now the serpent was more subtle than any beast. Like, I don't really.
So I'm sorry, before you begin, so do y'all side with Palestinians who do not like our people? No, we do not side with Palestinians.
We don't, hey, look.
We have nothing to do with that.
We don't care.
Just leave it at that. We have nothing to do with what is going on over there. We do not support that. I know some of y'all probably didn't know what we were or what we were about. I know y'all see the Magun Dawada or the Shield of David, and you think that we are, pro-Israel.
Right.
No, we're not. We do not support any of that. We're not for any of that.
Have you seen the ghetto? I don't have time to worry about something else. All I have to do, my whole life mission is to save the people in the ghetto. To save the people who are down and out and have been confused and beat up on and trampled on their whole life. This is what we do. To save them. How do we save them? Through the scriptures.
Oh, that's it. What's like?
The book of Genesis, chapter 3, verse 1. Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field, which the Lord God had made. Remember, we just told you that the serpent was a man. And now it's telling you that the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field. Let's find out what a beast is according to the Bible. Go to the book of Ezekiel, chapter 34. We're going to do verse 8. Guess what I want? Verse 8. The book of Ezekiel, chapter 34, verse 8. As I live, saith the Lord God, surely because my flock became a prey, and my flock became meat to every beast of the field, because there was no shepherd. Neither did my shepherds search for my flock, but the shepherds fed themselves and fed not my flock. Verse 25. And I will make with them a covenant of peace, and I will cause the evil beast to cease out of the land, and they shall dwell safely in the wilderness, and sleep in the woods. This is why the Lord refers to us as his sheep. Right? We're his sheep. Every other nation are beasts. And when you defer or when you defect from the scriptures, you are now prey to the beast. Exactly. You are now prey to the world. You are now getting the understanding of why we go through what we go through. Why blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans are treated so horribly. So horrible. It doesn't matter how much money you got, you're still going to get pulled over at an all-time rate.
It's like it says, you should stay away from gold. You have forgotten the sin of the golden calf. I believe you are referring to when Moses and Aaron got the brothers and sisters out of Egypt. I'm pretty sure that's what you're referring to. I'm going to just say it like this. Ak means brother in Hebrew.
Come on.
Wearing gold is not a sin. Now, if I worship,
you can't wear gold.
Let me get this real quick. You see this? This is a statue of a lion. This is a cup of gold. If I worship this, I am a sinner.
Right.
I do not worship this. Even if this was made of gold, trust me, it's not. It'd be a lot heavier. No, we do not worship any graven image. We do not worship any idol. We don't worship any statue. Nothing like that. Just because you wear something does not mean that you are idolizing after it.
It's like,
yeah.
If I may, this is what we're talking about. You have to have logic. Because you wear gold, you're a sinner. Like, it makes zero sense what you're saying. I hate to be so rude in speech, but Paul even said it, though I be rude in speech, not in knowledge. There has to be logic when it comes to this. Somebody can't wear gold. I can't wear a precious metal. I don't serve the metal. I wear it because I look good in it. That's why. King Solomon had diamond teeth. He had gold chains. That's in Song of Solomon 1.
Christ had a glorious garment.
Come on, man. A girdle of gold. It's like it.
I don't want to get too off topic. Just
let me finish.
Yeah, you go ahead.
Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field which the Lord God had made. Right. And he said unto the woman, yea, have God said you shall not eat of every tree of the garden?
So again, subtle beast, right?
Right.
So we already broke down that this person, this man who was a serpent, is really a devil.
Right.
He's a liar. All right. He's a liar. He's a deceiver. And now the beast, which you just broke down, again, this is not literally talking about beasts.
Right.
These are talking about other nations of people, because we were referred to as sheep.
Right.
A sheep could be a beast,
right?
Sense. But then there's predators.
Right.
And now what this man is doing, he is preying
right
on this woman.
Come on.
Now, you want to continue?
Yes, sir. Now remember this question. Yea, have God said, ye shall not eat of every tree of the garden? Now you know the trees, when you read Ezekiel 31, the tree of Lebanon, the cedar tree of Lebanon was the Assyrian Empire. That's in Ezekiel 31. So now that we know, if you went back and listened to our classes every Saturday we've been teaching, we know that trees are other nations, which the brother is bringing out. Verse 2. Now, remember the question was asked, ye shall not eat of every tree of the garden? Verse 2. And the woman said unto the serpent, we may eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden, but of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, God hath said. Now, this is what we get it. God hath said, ye shall not eat of it.
What?
Ye shall not eat of it.
We shall not eat it.
Neither shall ye touch it, lest ye die.
So now this woman,
Let's
right?
go, sir.
Now this woman, who's Eve, by the
way, right?
She understands, like, hey, look, I hear what you're telling me, but God said this. I can eat of all the fruit except this one.
Come on.
Can't eat this one, right? So she's acknowledging that she knows this.
Right.
You want to go to verse 4 real quick?
If can I go back?
No, go ahead. You're fine. Go ahead.
Here's my question to you. Did God say that? Did God say, ye shall not eat of it, neither shall ye touch it, lest ye die? I want you to really think about this question. Did God say you can't eat of this tree and you can't touch it? Is that what God said?
Should we read it?
We brought it out earlier, if I may, sir.
Go ahead.
The book of Genesis, chapter 2, verse 16. Now, this is the Lord talking to Adam. And the Lord God commanded the man, saying, of every tree of the garden thou mayest freely eat, but of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil thou shalt not eat of it.
Right.
For in the day that thou eatest thereof, thou shalt surely die.
Didn't say anything about touching.
It said nothing about none of that. And we're going to break this down. Remember, her head now is Adam. Adam got his instructions from the Lord. Adam told her what it was. She, you brothers would know this. Even you, some of you women, you would know this. If you tell your woman something, she hears a total different thing. It makes, to this day, man, it still makes no sense to me. If I say, don't eat this, she heard something else. I don't know how she heard it, but that's what she heard. This is what's being portrayed now. She was never told, but of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, God hath said, ye shall not eat of it, neither shall ye touch it, lest ye die. Why would he say the tree in the midst of the garden? Well, we know that in the garden, the trees, all the trees in the garden, you shall freely eat. He never said this tree in the midst, which means in the middle of the garden. You eat of that tree. Why? Because we know that every tree in his garden is what? Of his nation, of his family. You have to you have to go back to watch last week's class to really get the understanding. But every tree in that Garden of Eden is of his nation. The Lord never told Adam to tell Eve, you can't eat of the tree in the midst of this garden. He never said that. She heard something from Adam and she started, I don't know what the hell she said. She said she gave the devil a whole different explanation, which was not what was said. Slightly. And you have to understand what is being, men don't operate like that. Mm-hmm. What I say is what it is. I used to have problems back in the day. I used to tell my old lady, don't think for me. You're gonna break us up because you thinking for me. If I say this is what it is, this is how I truly, I don't have ulterior motives in what I'm saying. I'm a dude. I'm straight with it. I don't do all that. I like to drive straight. I don't like to cross all these lanes. I like to drive straight. Adam told her exactly what God told her. She talked to this devil, and now this devil sees a chink in the armor. He sees it. It's like
it says, I notice this person keeps putting the star of Renton and it says, you are literally wearing symbols in geometric shapes of Satanism. So,
Lord.
See, this is an easy one. So you're probably talking about the sigil of Baphomet, or as you know, the star of Satan. If you look at the Magun Dawada, which is the shield of David, which David means beloved in Hebrew, it's literally just the two Hebrew alphabets, the letters that are put together. The sigil of Baphomet is a 5-pointed star. I'm gonna say it one more time. The sigil of Baphomet, or the star of Remphan, or as you think the Magun Dawada is, because a lot of people think that.
What?
Two different things. That has 5 points. The Magun Dawada has 6 points. It's completely different. These are not the same things. Now, Satanists took that and mocked it, and they made their own symbol. Absolutely. So I understand why you may see it and think that it is something that it is not. But if you actually look at the two shapes, they're actually different shapes. Similar, they look similar, but they're not the same. That's all I got for that.
And if I may,
go ahead.
A star is a ball of gas. The sun is a star. It's a big ball of gas. The moon is a star. It's a big ball of gas. The stars that you look up into in the sky, they're big balls of gas. So they're not even. They don't even have points. They don't have points. Don't be ignorant. Again, just please bring out logic when you speak to us. We're not untrained, unlearned men. We go through years of training with this. Years to learn this Bible, to be able to bring it out to you. We are the only people who are authorized on the planet Earth, just like the sons of prophet when Elijah and Elisha was running the earth. Just like Samuel, just like Obadiah.
Since the moon is a gas, so the moon is a star.
Oh my Christ! Oh my good grief!
So,
anyway,
we'll get too off topic, but we'll continue with the break.
Let's go.
Just to answer a few questions.
Well, them people crazy. Verse 4.
Go ahead.
And the serpent said unto the woman, ye shall not surely die. So
if
let's go, sir.
So it says, and the serpent said unto the woman, it says the moon isn't a ball of gas. No one said the moon was a ball of gas. The moon's not a star.
Come on. I think I said it.
Yeah, we
I
said
was
that.
just
No, you
my bad. I was just going.
Yeah. Oh, and who was this? Llewellyn
Distraction, not interested in the teaching, but here to spread the knowledge.
Mhm. In a costume. Hey, Most High in Christ.
We know.
They know. Yeah, we know. It's just you gotta call it out every once in a while. But to get back on the topic, so he read in verse 4, and the serpent said, again, the serpent's not a literal snake.
Right.
We already broke that down that this is a man, a mischievous man with ulterior motives, a liar, a devil, right? And the serpent said unto the woman, ye shall not surely die. Hold on now. This is why we say he's a liar. Because God said, if you do eat of the tree of good and evil, you will die. Come on, but wait, now hold on. The serpent is saying, no, you're not going to die. And he went to the woman and said this. That's why he said that when it says the serpent was the most subtle beast of the field, meaning that this devil was the most evil, most mischievous person out of all the nations.
Right.
Who went to the woman alone. Like, I want y'all to really understand how this was done. This person did not go to Eve when she was with Adam.
Right.
Understand? Like, he went to Eve when she was alone, by herself. That happens a lot, that happened through slavery. They like to separate the man from the woman. Right. They'll go to the woman when she's by herself, get the man out of there. Why? Because they understand that the man is usually viewed as what? A being of authority.
Right.
So now that the man is gone, it's free game now.
Opportunity.
Now we're going to go straight to the woman, and now what we're going to do is we're going to lie.
Right.
And they're going to deceive you. Just like how this serpent did in the book of Genesis. This ain't nothing new. We're in chapter 3. We ain't even get that far yet. So
we're in
now,
chapter 3.
chapter 3, verse 4, and it says, and the serpent said unto the woman, ye shall not surely die.
Right.
Which goes against what God said, because I could have believed that in chapter 2, verse 16 to 17, God said, you're going to die if you eat it.
That's what it said.
That's what it says. I want to make sure I'm reading the correct thing here.
Right.
So now, you got anything before?
Yes, sir. And I want to get to this. Who made the mistake first, or who lied first? It was Eve, because she did not repeat exactly what was told to her. She added. And I want to teach you something while we have this time. How do you cut a devil? You should ask yourself, okay, if this comes up to me, you have to understand what's going on. Don't think of this as carnal, as just creation. We always speak about this. Speak of this as spiritual. Think of this as spiritual. How do you cut a devil? How do you cut Satan? That's a question. Well, let's get some precepts. I'm going to give you 3 precepts, if I may. Go ahead. We're going to break it down really quickly. Let's go to the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 17, verse 19. And it shall be with him, and he shall read therein all the days of his life, that he may learn to fear the Lord his God, to keep all the words of this law and these statutes to do them. Let's get Deuteronomy 28 and 58. Go ahead. If I may. Go ahead. Deuteronomy 28 and 58. If thou wilt not observe to do all the words of this law that are written in this book, that thou mayest fear this glorious and fearful name, the Lord thy God. Remember, I'm saying something repeatedly. The words of this law. If I may, let's get the book of Joshua, chapter 8, verse 9. Y'all just rock with me. Rock with me. What do you think? Book of Joshua, chapter 8, verse 9. Joshua therefore sent them forth. And they, so like, that's not what I want. That's not what I want. That's not what I want. Is it 9 and 8? Let me see if it's 9 and 8. It's not there. Regardless, I can still go with it. Remember the words of this law, the words in the book of the law. What are these words? These are words that is in the book of the what? The law. Here's my question to you. What is the law? Now that we know that the words in this book is the law, what is the law? What is the law? Psalms 119, 142. I don't even have to go there. Thy righteousness is an everlasting righteousness, and thy law, is the truth. Is the truth. Here's how you cut a devil. With the truth. What is the truth? The words in this book. What did Eve do and what did Satan do? They both lied. That's how you cut a lie. That's how you cut a devil, with the truth. what's being told to you now, you should just repeat. You should say, we talked about this in the car. My daddy said, my mommy said. I don't have to worry about my child celebrating Halloween. Why? Because I've told my child Halloween is a sin. I've told my child stranger danger. I tell my child all year, do not conversate with strangers, right? We tell our children, do not conversate with strangers. Soon as October 31st get here, what do? You have them conversate with strangers. You're a hypocrite and you're contradicting, which makes you a sinner.
Which is crazy because the same people that say that they believe in God celebrate Halloween.
Which is crazy.
Which is satanic.
Come on. They putting things in. Your child is going to get kidnapped because of you. Because you didn't give them the truth.
Wasn't they putting fentanyl in the candy?
Yes.
I don't know.
Yes.
I know they did that last year. I don't know if they did it this year. I don't know.
Nails and needles all in it. Just to get look, let me tell you something, man. You have to really understand what's being said in this Bible at this point. Eve should have came, when Satan walked up to Eve, she should have said, my daddy, Adam, my daddy, the Lord. Your husband is your new daddy now. That's who you get your instructions from. My Lord, my outer one, my master, the man I serve, Adam, the Lord, the man I serve, they told me that this tree right here, I couldn't eat from. Not make up your own thing. What did she do? She added. Now, what happens, if I may, sir? What happens when you add to the law? That's my question to you. What happens when you add to the law? What I want.
This is their opinions. It's not facts.
Okay.
It is facts because we're reading it. Adam failed more than Eve. He was beside. Don't worry. We're going to get to Adam in a second. Don't worry, because there's a lot of people who were at fault of this. It wasn't just Eve. But we'll get to that in a second. So y'all, I see some people are locking in and they are listening. So
that's fine.
Okay.
And that's what we want.
That is perfectly fine. Don't worry. We're going to get to it in a second. Don't you worry about it.
She added to the law. Matter of fact, let's go to Revelation 22. Let's go to Revelation 22. Here's what happens when you add to the law, which Eve did. Let's go to the book of Revelation, chapter 22, verse 18. We're coming from the beginning of the Bible to the end of the Bible. This is the last chapter of the Bible. It's only 3 verses after 18. For I testify unto every man that heareth the words of the prophecy of this book. If any man shall add unto these things, God shall add unto him the plagues that are written in this book. That's what happened. She was plagued. Why? Because she added to the things that was written already before her, that was told to her. Am I being straightforward, or am I just
you being straightforward? So don't worry, we're about to get more of it. Because I see some people having questions that said, "Wasn't Adam wrong?" Don't worry.
Great question.
That's a great question. We're gonna get into that. So you finished verse 4, right?
Yes, sir.
So now we'll get to verse 5. Go ahead.
The book of Genesis, chapter 3, verse 5. For God doth know that in the day ye eat thereof, then your eyes shall be opened, and ye shall be as gods, knowing good and evil. Verse 6. And when the woman saw that what's the like, sir?
Go ahead. You're fine. Go ahead.
I really want y'all to really understand this, man. He knew what the rules were. He knew Satan, which was the devil, which got into a devil at the time. He knew what was allowed and what was not allowed. Satan works for the Lord.
Now remember, so we read verse 4, right?
Right.
If I could. So the serpent said unto the woman, ye shall not surely die. What did he say after? Going back to what you just read. For God doth know that in the day ye eat thereof, then your eyes shall be open and you shall be as gods, knowing good and evil. That's not what God said.
That's not what he said.
So again, this is the liar. This is what we're talking about. The serpent, he's lying to this woman,
right,
saying that pretty much, no, you can eat of this tree.
Come on.
He's trying to manipulate her and tell her, well, no, God doesn't want you to eat of this tree because if you do, then you will be as gods. You're going to have the power. God never said that, though. But this liar, this devil, this serpent, he's telling her this because he wants her to eat of these other nations. That's what this tree is. Again, the tree is not, it's not literally an apple. It's not literally what that is. I know they have that fan fiction thing of like, Eve bites the apple, and
Don't
then
say
that no, you know it's crazy. It doesn't say
It
apple.
don't say apple.
There's no apple.
So
Apple-
how can we be lying when it don't even say what you think it says?
Apple was not mentioned here. We're talking about the trees, which again were not actual trees. This is knowledge of other nations.
I love this.
So now this serpent, who is not of her nation, remember how you broke down the beast?
Yes.
The beast, the predator.
Right.
This man is preying on this woman.
Right.
And he's trying to lure her into a trap. That's why he said that. He's lying to her. Go ahead.
And the only way he can lie to her, because he knew it was a chink in her armor.
Yep.
If she would have said prior what was told to her, he had no leeway.
Sloppy. It says they were innocent. They didn't even know good and evil. So now that, thank you. There you go. They were innocent. So before this time, before this devil came to Eve, they were innocent. They were only supposed to know of the good.
What the Lord had taught them to know.
Same thing that like you tell your children. You tell them, don't steal. Don't partake in drugs. Don't be a drug dealer. Be a decent human being, right? You give them morals. Look at it like this. The law that was given to us, look at it as a moral code, right? You teach your child morals. Don't be like this. And what do? You tell your child, well, if you do these things, let's say you want to be a thief. Come on. You want to go out and rob people. You want to rob people. You know what's going to happen? You're going to die. Because somebody, or you're going to go to jail. You're going to suffer some type of consequence because you got away from the law that you taught them. Right. So this is what's happening right now. Eve and Adam, they were never supposed to know of these other things. Right. They're only supposed to know of good. Not the evil. Because what happens? Like it said in verses 16 and 17, I'm paraphrasing. If you eat of the tree of good and evil, you shall surely die. But not just physically, but spiritually, because now you're going to start doing things that you wouldn't normally do. You're going to start celebrating pagan holidays. You're going to start getting away from the law and eating things that are bad for your body. I don't know if anybody knows this. There's a reason why the Bible says we shouldn't eat swine. Swine is actually not good for you, especially black people. It's not good for us. That's why we suffer more when we eat of these things. Other nations can eat of that. They can eat that and they'll be perfectly fine. Us, we get high blood pressure. We get diabetes. Right. We suffer. We have health issues when we eat this too much. That's why when you go to the doctor when you're like 35, and you're like, oh, you know, your cholesterol a little high. They ask you, do you eat a lot of red meat? Come on. Do you eat a lot of pork? Oh, yeah, you probably shouldn't eat that because it's bad for you. Right. But you were told, I'm about to have me some bacon. My whole family eating it. Why should I not? I have family that now I've called them like not some time ago, and they told me like, yeah, you know, I went to the doctor and you know I got high blood pressure and stuff, but I know why that you eat pork. You're not supposed to do that. But why? Come on. Because you're going to die. Come on. Why not die immediately? That's the thing that we have adopted. It didn't happen right away. So okay, we're good. We're good. You drinking and driving, but you made it home this time. Right. Okay, so I'm good. Now you have this idea of, oh, I could just keep doing it. I'm fine. I stole from somebody. Right. That's what you think. Right. You didn't get caught this time. Oh, okay. I guess I could keep doing it. Right. Until you get caught. Right. And you either go to jail or somebody unalives you because you stole from them. You're a thief. Now, then you're going to regret, oh, man, I shouldn't have did that. It's too late at that point. That's what God is trying to stop you from doing. Do not eat of this tree. That's what Adam and Eve were instructed. But again, here comes this evil serpent going to Eve when she's alone. Right. Again, I want to emphasize that because we're going to break that down a little bit. Right. When she's away from her man alone, he's trying to manipulate her. He is a predator trying to prey on this woman. Right. That is what's happening. It's a lot. Go ahead.
And if I may, why did the Lord tell Adam to tell his wife? Mm-hmm. Well, he told Adam, but of course Adam's gonna tell his wife. We pillow talk. Told his wife, hey, look, if you eat of this tree, you shall surely die. Mm-hmm. What brings forth death? Simple. Let's go to the book of James, chapter 1, verse 14. Go ahead. Let's start at 13. Let no man say when he is tempted, I am tempted of God. For God cannot be tempted with evil, neither tempteth he any man. But every man is tempted when he is drawn away of his own lust and enticed. Verse 15. Right. Then when lust have conceived, it bringeth forth sin. And sin, when it is finished, bringeth forth death.
If I could,
Yes, sir.
I believe it could be First John or John. I think it's First John
2,
3 and 8, I believe, where it says, "What is sin? Sin is a transgression."
sin is a transgression of the law.
Right. But I want people to understand what sin is.
Right.
Right.
Ooh, my first
I believe it's in First John.
blah, blah, blah. Okay, it's somewhere up in here. Verse 4.
There
The
you go.
book of First John, chapter 3, verse 4.
There you go.
Whosoever committeth sin,
Mm-hmm.
transgressive also the law.
Transgresses also the law. So now we're breaking down what sin is.
Come on.
So keep going.
For sin is the transgression of the law.
So when you transgress something, what? You go against it.
Come on.
So sin, when you eat pork, I know it's to us, it's like, well, I mean, I'm eating food. I saw somebody say, well, you don't know what eating in moderation is. The thing is, I don't want you to eat that at all.
At all.
Like that is like,
God
here's the
dang.
thing. Good farmers have pigs on their farm.
Right.
But you're not supposed to eat it. Now, we're not supposed to. Other nations, they can do that. It's fine. They can eat that stuff and be perfectly healthy. They'll be healthy as a horse.
Right.
Us, though, we start having health issues. Like, perfect example. My father, he's very healthy. He's actually into fitness. He's been in fitness for 30-something years now.
Right.
He's a professional trainer. But I had to talk with my father. He used to eat pork. This man is very fit.
Right.
More fit than a lot of people.
Big strength.
And then even when he went to the doctor,
Yeah.
they told him that, oh, your blood pressure is getting a little high. And he told them what he eats. They told him to cut back on that. But my dad doesn't even eat a lot of pork. My dad actually eats pretty healthy.
Right.
But why? Because he's not supposed to eat of that.
At all.
I'm not supposed to eat of that.
At all.
You're not supposed to eat of that.
At all.
And I know some of y'all might think, well, y'all just making that up. You are more than free. Hey, look, y'all watching us online. You have your phones. You are more than welcome to do the study yourself. Go look up the statistics of predominantly Black people
Right.
who eat pork,
Right.
who eat shrimp and lobster and eat these things, and what happens to our health
Right.
over time. That's what we brought up. You're not going to die immediately.
Right.
No, I can have some shrimp right now, and I'll be fine now. But then I'm gonna keep eating it, and I'm keep eating it and keep eating it, and the next thing you know, I'm gonna be 30-something years old, and now, yeah, you got high blood pressure, you have high cholesterol. You need to cut back on the pork, shrimp, and lobster. That's what you need to do. That's what happens. It should be right there. But that's what happens. But again, we think, well, it didn't happen to us the first time. It's like the first time you stole from somebody. You didn't get caught the first time. The first time you drink and drive. Dare I even say it? The first time some of you might have unalived somebody. You ain't gotta tell me. Some of y'all unalived somebody and you didn't get caught.
Right.
You got away with it. Now you think, oh, I got away with it. They like to say in the world, it's karma. They like to say it's karma that gets you. That's not karma.
Right.
That's the Lord punishing you for what you did. And it doesn't have to happen overnight. It might happen 5 years from now. It might happen 10 years. It might happen in 5 days or 5 minutes. You never know. So the best thing you can do is not sin. Don't sin. Just stay away from it, because if you do, well, whatever punishment the Lord decides to give you, then, well, that's of the Lord. All I can say at that point is, Lord, be with you. I hope the Lord has mercy on you and does not take your life, because I don't want to do that. I don't want that to happen to you. And I'm talking to my people, right? I want my people to thrive. I want my people to be fruitful. I want my people to flourish. So that's why we're here and we're telling you these things, and we're going down the book of Genesis and teaching you these are the things that you're not supposed to do. I'm paraphrasing. The Bible says things that happen aforetime are meant for our learning.
Right.
So you can learn from your mistakes.
Right.
It's like how they say those who don't learn about their history are doomed to repeat it.
Come on.
We're trying to help you out. So those who are listening, I just want to say thank you. I appreciate you. We appreciate the support. And we're trying to help you out, because we have to deconstruct all the poison that's been put in our minds
Right.
for generations. Because it's been generations. All right. It has to start somewhere. We can tell you to change all we want, but we have to give you the tools to change. Now, at that point, hey, look, that's on you. If I tell you, hey, brother, you shouldn't eat pork, and you decide to keep doing it, well, I told you not to do it. Brother, you should stop selling drugs in your community. You should stop doing drugs. You should be a better father. You should be a better brother, a better uncle, a better husband. And you
Something wrong with you.
And you choose to not do that? Okay, well, I'm trying to help you out. This brother over here, he's trying to help you out. We trying to help you out. If you don't want to do that, okay, the best thing I can say to you is Lord be with you. But don't complain when bad things continuously happen to you. Because we're telling you to not do these things. It's like the concept of like when you tell a child, don't touch the hot stove.
Come on.
And then they touch it.
Come on.
And then they burn their hand. Now they mad because they burn their hand. It was like, well, I just told you, don't touch the hot stove. Don't touch the hot stove. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Salaki.
Yes, sir. Salaki. I don't have my shades.
Oh, you fine. We got the ones right there. Yeah. But
Where was it?
we're at, so we just
5.
finished verse 5. You got anything before we continue?
No, sir. I think we're. You touched on it. You hit it. You hit it. The book of Genesis, chapter 3, verse 6.
Okay.
And when the woman saw that the tree was good for food.
Now, was this tree really good though?
Come on.
No. But guess what? That serpent lied to her. So now what she do? Go ahead.
And when the woman saw that the tree was good for food, and that it was pleasant to the eyes, and a tree to be desired to make one wise.
But that's not what God said.
Come on.
That's what the liar said, though. He said, if you eat of this, then you're going to become a god.
Come on.
Sadly, she listened. Keep going.
She took of the fruit thereof and did eat.
She did eat
Come
of
on.
it. But hold on. Here's the kicker, though. Finish that verse, Bubba.
And gave also unto her husband with her, and he did eat.
So it says, and gave also unto her husband with her, and he did eat. So now she's not just in sin. Guess what? He is too. Now this is where I wanted to get into Adam.
Yes, sir.
This is where Adam messed up.
Let's do it.
So Adam already instructed his wife, do not do this. Do not eat of this tree. Because God told us to not eat of this tree or we're gonna die.
Oh my precept for real.
So now guess what she did? Sadly, again, this was all tactical.
Right.
This evil man went to Eve alone. Keep that in mind, alone,
right,
away from her husband, because now you're more impressionable. Lied to her. So now she did eat of the fruit, but then she told her husband. Now this is where Adam should have put his foot down and did his duty as a husband,
right,
and instructed her, no, we are not going to do that. Do not do that again. This is where Adam messed up, though. She told him, and what did he do? And it says, and he did eat. Now they're both wrong. Now this was Adam's sin. He should have instructed his wife, no, don't do that. This is wrong. But he partook in the sin as well. He should have checked Eve, and he did not. So now both of them are in sin. That's where he messed up. Because now the duty of a husband, right, is to what? You're supposed to protect your wife, right? Now, this might go over some people's heads. Sometimes you got to protect your wife from herself.
You have to.
Sometimes you need to do that. You're supposed to be wise.
That's not smart, baby.
It's not exactly, and it's not to shame women or anything like that. But this is the duty of a man. You're supposed to be the authoritative figure here. You're supposed to be the head of the household.
That's what she wants.
That's what you're supposed to do. But don't worry, we're about to get into that. We're about to get into that. That's what you're supposed to be. Sadly, at this time, Adam did not do that.
You niggas weak.
He failed as a husband at that point. I'm gonna get a couple precepts.
Yeah, of course. Do your thing, sir.
So if I could,
yeah.
Could I get let me get 1 Corinthians 11 and 16.
If y'all haven't noticed, this is his favorite stuff to talk about.
It is.
He's my boy.
It's true.
Which one? 13, 11, or 11, 13?
1 Corinthians chapter 11, I believe it's verse 16.
11 and no.
Go to 3. There we go.
Okay,
yes.
Good.
Okay.
The book of 1 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 3.
Go ahead.
This is in the Bible.
This is in the Bible. I didn't make this up. You didn't make this up. You're reading the Bible.
But I would have you know that the head of every man is Christ.
So the head of every man is Christ.
Right.
We're supposed to follow what Christ did. Because Christ was perfect in the eyes of the Lord.
Right.
Right? Because Christ was, put it like this, he was about his Father's business. Let's put it like that, right? So we're supposed to follow the example that Christ made for us.
Right.
Keep going.
And the head of the woman is the man.
So the head of the woman is who?
The man.
It's the man. Any more on that?
And the head of Christ is God.
So now this is what we call a chain of command.
Order.
This is order. It's like how you have order in a household.
Right.
You have the father. Like you have two parents, right? You have the father. The father is supposed to be the head of the household. Now, I want to make this very clear. Bear with me, right? That's not to say that a woman can't have no say-so and stuff.
Oh my!
Like, I know some of y'all think like,
Come on,
like she's supposed to be a robot and she can't say nothing. No, this is your wife.
You're an abuser of power.
Yeah, don't be an usurper.
Right.
Don't do that. Don't be a tyrant.
Right.
All right. But be authority. Be fair. Be stern. Right. You, and I'm pretty sure a lot of women, hey, I could be wrong. I'm just saying, would like their man to, you know, when it's time to take care of business, take care of business.
Come
right.
on.
This is your life partner.
Come
right?
on.
So now the man, that's why we say head of the household. That's in the Bible. I didn't make that up. Head of the household. Then you have the woman. All right. Think of her as like that's your second in command.
Right.
Then you have your children.
Right.
Now the children are supposed to listen to y'all. They're supposed to listen to their mom. They're supposed to listen to their dad.
Right.
Right. That is structure. That is order in a household. What happens when you disrupt that order, though? Let's say chaos. Exactly, chaos. The opposite of order is chaos. No, you're too loud. No, thank you. The opposite of order is chaos. Let's say you take the man out. There is no man.
Come on, Azam.
Now,
let's go.
Statistically, and I like statistics.
Right.
I'm just saying.
He does.
This
I know this brother.
This brother knows me pretty well. Like, I like statistics. So statistically, it's been proven. Again, I didn't make up these numbers. Don't come for me now. It's been proven that a single parent household with just the woman, let's say there's no man, right? Her raising the kids is not as fruition as a man's single household. Now, hold on now. Let's say you have the man and the woman. Now you got statistically a better household. The kids come out better. They come out more, I don't want to say that word because that comes out weird. They are more disciplined, structured. They have more structure. Right. They have more structure. They're more disciplined. They have self-discipline. Right. Right. Because they have not just a father, but they also have a mother. Right. Kids will look at their father like, let's say you got a son, right? I use the same analogy all the time. Let's say you got a son. It takes a man to teach a boy how to be a man. Yes. Now, again, I'm not taking no credit from the women because a mom has her role in that household to show her son, this is how a woman conducts herself. This is what you should look for in a woman. Yes, like your mom, let's say she's just nice, you know, cooks, cleans, she's very hardworking, right? She's nurturing, she's loving, cool, she's kind, you know, but you know, she stands on business as well. Yeah. Now you understand as a little boy, you grew up around this woman, you know, okay, you know, this is how a woman's supposed to be. So now when you get older, this is so now let's put it like this, right? I know some of y'all are like, well, that's kind of weird. Stay with me. Crazy. Now you're the son, you grow up. Now you start dating. Now let's say you get with a woman and she's just abusive and all these things, right? You're like, like this is not how they're supposed to be. This is not how they're supposed to be because my mother is not like that. Right. So I'm not gonna tolerate that from you. Same thing that goes when we were talking about earlier. You brought it up. So with a woman, if you are growing up and your father is abusive and he's just evil and wicked and he's an alcoholic and does drugs and all that stuff, it might not happen every time, but that woman is more likely to be with a man who is just like her father. Come on. Now that could be a good or a bad thing because if he's like that, I was she's going to get with a man who's just like that, and she's going to suffer. Right. She's going to suffer. And I know a good father out there would not want his daughter to suffer. Cool. You want your daughter to be with a man who is going to properly take care of her, and she's wise enough to know, like, you know what, this is the type of man I don't need. Like you, yeah, you know, you nice, but you sell drugs. You sell drugs. You're a thief. You're a con artist. You're a liar. My father wasn't like that. So I'm not going to be with a man like that. That's why it's good to set the example.
Be the standard.
Exactly. Be the standard. That's why it's important for a man to be the head of the household. That's his position. The woman has her position too. Both of you are supposed to serve that position. And sadly, let's bring it all the way back.
Let's bring it.
Genesis chapter 6, where it says at the end, and he did eat. Adam didn't play his position.
Come on.
He was supposed to chastise Eve
Well, what did
and
he do?
instruct her, don't do that. What did he do? Like you said, what did he do? He listened. He knew it was wrong. He knew, but he listened. And he was wrong for that. So now not only is she in sin, he is also in sin. And I'm going to tell you why. Give me Job 39:17. Brother, shut up.
He like this. This is the most precepts he never brought. What you want it? Job
39:17. And I might have you go to the Apocrypha.
I got it. The book of Job, chapter 39, verse 17.
Go ahead.
Because God hath deprived her of wisdom, neither have he imparted to her understanding.
Now, this is talking about, stay with me, don't nobody get offended. This is talking about the woman in her role.
Right.
Now, don't get it twisted. There are some very extremely intelligent women, entrepreneurs, run your own business. Trust me, I know. I have aunts that run their own business. I know. But there's a reason why God wanted it to be the way it was.
Right.
The man is supposed to be the head of the woman. Why? Because he's supposed to have understanding. He's supposed to be wise. He's supposed to be stern. He's supposed to be authoritative and fair. That's what he's supposed to be. That's his role. That's why we say that's your head. Because when you cut off the head,
right,
you destroy the body. Without no head, your body can't function. So now, this is why it says, like, she didn't have the wisdom. Smart, but didn't have the wisdom. Come on. And this is, because you said it earlier, it's talking about when a woman maintains a man. That's in Ecclesiastes, I think 25. I think it's 25 or 26. I forgot.
You would know before I would know.
Is there? It's talking about when a woman maintains a man. I'm gonna break because this leads into everything. Because I know some of y'all might not know this, but even in the Bible, it talks about when you don't serve your role. Adam was supposed to serve his role and he didn't. So what happens is a woman will recognize that. She will. Let's be real. Stay with me real quick. Women will recognize when a man is being weak, when he's not doing what he's supposed to do. Y'all know. No, don't try to be coy. Y'all know. But water, if I could, go ahead.
The book of Ecclesiasticus, the Apocrypha.
It's the Apocrypha. Go ahead.
Ecclesiasticus 25, verse 22. A woman, if she maintain her husband, is full of anger, impudence, and much reproach.
So now, when it says she maintains,
think about a car.
Maintain. Now, does that mean that a woman cannot assist in, making sure that her husband has what he needs?
Right.
That's not what that means. When it says maintain, this is talking about when she's in charge.
Right.
She's maintaining you. Now, she's the head of the household.
Which is crazy.
You think, I'm going to tell you right now, most women, they say they want that. It's more of a westernized culture thing out here. They don't really want that.
Right.
They don't really want that. They might have been told their whole life, this is what you want to be. Deep down, as a woman, they don't. They want a man who is about his business, who stands strong and stands authoritative on what he speaks on. Fair, though. He still be loving and, all these good things, but he has to have that trait. Good man, right? And what does it say? What happens when she has to maintain her husband? What happens with her?
It's full of anger.
Anger. She's angry. Why is she angry?
Impudence and much reproach.
She's angry. Why? Because you're not doing your job as a man.
And she has to do your.
Now she got to do your job.
I'm letting him go.
She got to do your job. Why do you think a lot of it's my time?
I know
Why do you think a lot of single mothers are angry? They're angry because you heard this saying, they got to be the mom and the dad. But no, her job is to just be the mother. That's her role. That's her lane. Let her have her lane. Now she got to take up your job.
Come on.
Because now there's no man there.
Right.
That's the problem. Man is supposed to be man. Woman is supposed to be woman. Now, when we serve our roles, like Adam was supposed to,
Right.
everything works. Look what happened when he didn't, though. He allowed his wife to sin.
Come on.
And he did not correct her, and he followed her into the sin. That's his sin.
Come on.
That's where he messed up. And he should not have done that. Why? Going back to Job 39:17, where it says that, I'm paraphrasing, she was deprived of wisdom. That's not how it was supposed to go. So now, congratulations. Y'all both about to suffer.
Right.
Because you allowed for her to do this. She shouldn't have did it. Don't get it twisted. They both wrong. They're just wrong for different reasons. Eve shouldn't have did that, but Adam should have checked it.
Right.
That's the whole reason why there's structure and order when it comes to man, women, child, God, Christ in the Bible. Salakia. That's all I got on that. You got anything? You and Timothy. I feel like you're already gonna get Is it 2 and 12?
Is it 2 and 12?
I think it's 2 and 12. First Timothy 2 and 12.
First Timothy 2 and 12.
Yeah, you're the second.
I'm getting confused.
There it is. Yep.
I want to get that one, but it goes into the book of First Timothy chapter 2 verse 12. But I suffer not a woman to teach, nor to usurp authority over the man, but to be in silence. Verse 13. For Adam.
Wait, hold up. We're in First Timothy, right?
First Timothy, the 2nd chapter, the 12th and 13th and 14th verse.
So this is talking about, again, we're talking about Adam. Keep going.
For Adam was first formed, then Eve.
Right.
And Adam was not deceived, but the woman being deceived was in the transgression.
Exactly. And what is transgression? Transgression against the law, which is what?
Sin.
Sin.
Which brings forth death. This is,
see how it all comes
together? We're not making nothing, man. I think about this so much, especially now. I'm so glad. A lot of our classes now, early at this point, are going to be a little longer because we have to break down what we have to break down. But what he's bringing out is heavy. Eve sinned. She sinned because she was deprived of wisdom. The reason why she was deprived of wisdom is she's supposed to listen to her man. She didn't listen to her man and made up a whole new thing. Right. And Satan, the devil, he caught a chink in the armor. He seen it. He was like, "Oh, I got it." That's what she said. That's what he was waiting for the whole time. And now, if I may, sir, let's go back to Genesis 3 and 6. I want to let me get a little word play in. And when the woman saw that the tree was good for food and that it was pleasant to the eyes and a tree to be desired to make one. Matter of fact, let me start at the beginning. And when the woman saw that the tree was good for food, let's understand what's going here. She saw that the tree was good for food. Let's break down that. Let's really get into that. Let's go to the book of Ezekiel. Let's start at verse 2 and verse 9. Let's start at verse 8. Go ahead. This is the Lord speaking to Ezekiel. Remember, everything can be looped in together in this Bible. This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 2, verse 8. Mm-hmm. But thou, son of man, hear what I say unto thee. Be not thou rebellious like the rebellious house. Open thy mouth and eat that I give thee. Mm-hmm. And when I looked, behold, and hand was sent unto me, and lo, a roll of a book was therein. And he spread it before me, and it was written within and without, and there was written therein lamentations and mourning and woe. What was he was giving the Bible. He was giving the law. This is what Ezekiel is now seeing. He's seeing someone have a hand with some food and a roll and give it to him. Verse 3. Moreover, he said unto me, Son of man, eat that thou findest, eat this roll, and go speak unto the house of Israel. So I opened my mouth, and he caused me to eat that roll. And he said unto me, Son of man, cause thy belly to eat, and fill thy bowels with this roll that I give thee. Then did I eat it, and it was in my mouth as honey for sweetness. Mm-hmm. Here's what's going on. The food that she ate, think about what black people say. Like it.
You know what? Forget it. Keep going. Like
food for thought. What's being given to Ezekiel was the same thing that was given to Adam, which was the same thing that was passed down to Eve. Food of thought. Food for thought was given. She saw this tree. Again, this is nations. Again, this is the knowledge of good and evil. Again, this is sin. These are things that are evil, that are anti-God, that are anti-the Lord. Where's the Antichrist in the world? That's a whole nother topic, but I could break that down if you would like it. These things that she was given to eat is the same thing that Ezekiel was given to eat, except she ate the things that was opposite of what was righteous. What Ezekiel ate, this honey taste, was that bread of manna, the bread from heaven, something sweet, like a honeycomb. When you understand, I believe it's Ezekiel 16, the bread from manna was sweet. It was like a honeycomb. She's eating this. Eating what? Food for thought. She's eating what someone's saying. Your brain is just your second stomach when you really break it down. What you hear, what you see, that's what you digest. Same way you eat food, that's what you digest. What you see and what you hear is what you digest. Your perception, we talked about it today. Your perception is your reality. So you think what you see and what you hear is what it is, when it's probably not. She's eating what is being fed to her by this deceiver, by this devil, by this man, by this beast who is looking at her like prey. She's eating it. Why? It was pleasant to the eyes.
Right.
Why was it pleasant to the eye? I brought it out earlier to this brother. Temptation comes when your eyes are bigger than your stomach. Food for thought, meaning what? Come on, man. I'm using a secular topic to show you what this is. When let's say you're so hungry and you like, I gotta eat. You go to, I don't know where you go out to eat. You buy 50 wings because you're so hungry. You don't eat 15 of them. Your eyes was bigger than that. Your eyes was bigger than what your stomach can handle. You saw something that was so good because you was in a time of desperation. You saw something that was so good, or that you thought was so good for you. You spent more than you really need to spend. She saw that what this man was telling her was good. She saw that it was pleasant to the eyes and a tree to be desired to make one wise. She saw that. All he was doing was spitting game. That's all he was doing. And if I may, sir, what I want. Let's get 1 John 3:16. I have 2 precepts if I may. Let's go to the book of 1 John chapter 3, verse 16. Of course, and you see, we're going straight to scripture. We're going straight to scripture. The book of 1 John chapter 3, verse 16. Go ahead. It's not that. It's not that. Is it 2 John? Find me where he say, if I may, sir. You're gonna be tempted by what you see. Temptation comes by what you see. I can't find it right now. I cannot find it. No, is it Corinthians? I believe it's 1 Corinthians. Right? Yeah, I think it's 1 Corinthians. 3:19. Let's see. I don't be too off.
The Most High can't get y'all no real gold.
Oh, shut up. It's actually real. Hey, and it costs. The book of 1 Corinthians chapter 3, verse 19. For the wisdom of this world is foolishness with God. For it is written, he taketh the wise in their own craftiness. We go back. Verse 6, and when the woman saw that the tree was good for food and that it was pleasant to the eyes and a tree to be desired to make one wise. Here's what she saw. She saw the foolishness of the world. What she saw was foolishness. What you see daily, what you perceive daily, you eat that food and you think it makes you wise. It makes you more foolish than you have ever been.
I love you see. Y'all on YouTube, TikTok. Oh, yes. So a TikTok page is going to be Hollywood Israelites.
Instagram.
We are the Isupk Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge. We do also have the Instagram. The Instagram is linked actually to this TikTok page. But yes, Hollywood Israelites is the YouTube page that you would like to go to. We're actually live on YouTube right now as well. So like,
also with Instagram, say it's Hollywood Israelites. Facebook is Isupk Southern Cal.
Right.
If you really would like to know, you should watch all our classes, man. So for the last, I don't know what, 8 weeks, 9 weeks, 10 weeks, we've been teaching straight from Genesis 1. We're going to teach the whole Bible 7 by 7 by 7 by 7. Right now we're in Genesis 3. Verse 6. And when the woman saw that the tree was good for food and that it was pleasant to the eyes and a tree to be desired to make one wise, she took of the fruit thereof and did eat, and gave also unto her husband with her, and he did eat. Here's what you brothers need to understand. You brothers need to understand women. Understand women, bro. Sometimes a woman can only see the tree, she can't see the forest. She only sees what makes her happy at that moment. This is the first one. Did we bring that out already?
No, I went to 1 Corinthians chapter 11.
Let's get that. Hey, Tawada, Kudashiala. 1 Corinthians 10 and 13. There have no temptation taking you, but such as is coming to man. But God is faithful, who will not suffer you to be tempted above that ye are able, but will with the temptation also make a way to escape, that ye may be able to bear it. Why did this brother bring this out, and why is it so important right now? There was a way for Eve to escape this temptation. The way to escape it was to listen to a man and repeat exactly what he told her. Her way to escape was to just not do it. Do not eat of this tree. Do not learn of this nation. The way for Adam to escape this temptation was to not listen to her, to check her, to be more on her.
And if I could,
yes,
said
sir,
that there was a way to escape. Right?
It was a way to escape.
So Adam could have said no.
He could have, but what was he? Weak under his woman. Let me tell you, brother, something. A woman don't want no weakness. A woman does not want a man she can manipulate. To her, at the beginning, it seems good. And then she realized, hey, I don't want this. I don't want no man I can tell what to do. I've never met a woman in my life that want a man that she can tell what to do. And I've met plenty of women in my life.
Realistically.
Like talk to them. Let's not be on Instagram. Don't let social media confuse you, man. Yes. They just talking. Yes. Let me tell you something. I meet women in the real world. I go to clubs in the real world. I go to bars. I go to Starbucks. I go to libraries in the real world. You go to Starbucks? I go to Starbucks, man. Bougie. Let me tell you something. I only get a hot chocolate anyway, because I don't know all that other stuff. But if we being real, women want a man that leads, that dominates. Women want a man that's better than her, that makes better decisions than her, wiser decisions than her. Don't worry about no money. Don't need her for nothing. I'm telling you, don't need her for nothing. She has to go with it because you're a man. It's what she wants.
If I could touch on the social
yes,
media
sir,
real quick, like, no, seriously, like, don't feed into that social media mess. I know a lot of us, we have been, let's say, programmed, because you see it all over social media. You see it on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, like all types of social media. We've been seeing it since we were kids, realistically, music videos, so on and so forth. And there's been this agenda that's been pushed out for a long time. Like, this is what you should strive to be. Like, think about it. When it comes, and I'm going to focus on black people, right? When it comes to black people, for the men, you are shown the only way that you can be successful in society, is you have to be an athlete.
Come on,
football, basketball, whatever.
Which is crazy
because not everybody's an athlete. Just being real, not everybody's an athlete, right? You will have to be shown in a negative way, be a rapper, and well, let's be real. What do most rappers rap about?
Sin,
sex, money, drugs. That's even the nations. So you're making music about sin, and in your mind, that's the only way that you could be successful, right? To be like that. You can get all the tattoos and look crazy. Like you can do that, right? To you, that's what success really is. What you don't understand is a lot of these dudes, they're on drugs. Right. A lot of them have sadly passed away from doing these drugs. Now for the women, same thing. The only time, hear me out, correct me if I'm wrong, they push this agenda on our women that the only way that you could be successful, liked, and you a boss. I don't like saying it, but boss, B-I-T-C-H in their eyes, right?
HBIC?
Yeah. You gotta be like Cardi B, Meg Thee Stallion, Sweetie, City Girls, Sexy Red. You gotta do that type of stuff. You have to degrade yourself. Right. You have to overly sexualize yourself. You have to show yourself half naked for the world. Right. That is the only way that you will have any value. That's what they show you. Crazy. That's what they show you. What we're trying to tell you is don't do that. Don't believe the hype. Because a lot of these people behind closed doors, because these are people too. These are people, and they have emotions just like you. They go through things just like you. They have bad relationships, all this stuff. They have demons, obviously, that they're fighting, right? Just like you. They're not going to show you that, though. We talking about, wasn't it not that long ago, Cardi B broke down because she felt like there was something up in her house, and she felt like, oh, I just want to be a mother and be there for my kids, and da-da-da. Like, this is a very rich and successful woman, and she's having a mental breakdown about being a mother. Right. She wants to be a mom.
Come on. Yeah, breaking down.
Yeah, and she's breaking down. She has all the money, the success. She's married. She has all that, right? And she just wants to be a mom, right? A lot of these celebrities that y'all idolize, let's be real, when you shouldn't be idolizing them, they are suffering behind closed doors, all right? And then the ones that do speak out, they get shut down every single time. So, but you have been taught to follow that.
And if I may,
go ahead.
Y'all don't know a lot about my background. We just really don't speak on things of that. I know some of them people, like platinum selling artists, platinum producers, people that they be around. I know them. I know them. I've talked to them. Their numbers are still locked in my phone. I never call them, but their numbers are still locked in. You know, when you transfer the phone or whatever. Man, these people going through it. They have more problems than you. I know. I've talked to them. I've conversated with these people. I've conversed with them. They have problems. Why do you think they're on so many drugs? Why do you think they're on lean? Why do you think they drink a cough syrup, promethazine? Why do you think they go through what they go through? They don't have the word. They don't have the law. They don't have the knowledge of this Bible. They go through way more than you. You just see money. You see money. And they show you a video, and they show you it's IG Live. They only show you the good of it. They don't show you the problem. I personally know. If you know me, you just ask me who do I know. I'll let you know. And they would agree that I know them. They go through these things out. They have problems out, way more problems than you could ever fathom. The problems that you have times 10, times 20. They have these problems, and you think what's going on. The water put out, y'all. And you think what's going on is not seen. It's seen out. Social media is not real. We're two men who go out. We go out. We see people daily. We meet women daily. They don't act like the way they act on social media. They don't act like that in public.
A lot of them are very sad.
Come on, man.
They're very sad. And if I could, like, not to get too off topic, but like again, touch on the social media thing. Again, this is why, going all the way back to Genesis, the Lord did not want you to eat of the tree of good and evil, because there's evil up in there. Somebody said it earlier in the chat. They said that, they were innocent before they did that. And they're right. They were innocent before that. But because they chose to sin and introduce sin into their lives, now we have what we have today. Now you have, I'll touch on women just one more time, right? You have women, going back to the whole social media thing, who will do whatever they can to be presentable in westernized ideology.
Right.
What do I mean by that? You will go get half naked for the world to see, and you will alter your body.
Right.
Do y'all know that there's actually health risks when you get a BBL?
Sisters die all the time.
Like there are women that you probably don't even know who sadly have passed on because they were unhappy with themselves. Because they're being told by society, you got to look like this. Come on. This is what you got to look like to be a desirable woman here in America. So now in their mind, I got to be beautiful. I got to be told, I got to be this because that's what they're being told. Right. Again, going back to that serpent, you're being lied to. You're being told that you are not beautiful in your own spirit. You got to look like this. You got to look like a Kardashian or something. Right. And even they have tons of plastic surgery. They weren't happy with themselves. Right. So now they altered their body. Now you're going to do the same because in your eyes, well, this is beautiful. This is the beauty standard, which is mostly Eurocentric. And now you're going to follow this because you've been lied to your whole life. There's a serpent right now that's been lying to everybody. Same way that they tell brothers that the only way you can be successful is if you portray yourself as a thug. That's what you got to do. You got to be ignorant. You got to rap about sin all day. You got to be this type of person to be accepted and successful in the public eye. And because of that, a lot of these people, like you said, they're suffering behind closed doors. There's a lot of stuff you don't see on social media. There's a lot of stuff. You think they're going to show you when they're breaking down crime because they're suffering through depression? You think they're going to show you when they're suffering through alcoholism?
There you go.
You think they're going to do that? You think they're going to show you? Like, I just found out not that recently. Sadly, it was a young lady. I'm not sure if she was Black or Hispanic. I'm not sure, but she passed away from depression, and she did it on live.
That's crazy.
Live. She was young too. I don't know her exact age, but she couldn't have been like a day older than like maybe 16, 17 years old. And she passed on. She took her life. And that's sad, man.
Right.
That's sad. But again, social media, you don't see these things because you're chasing this dream.
Right.
You got to be asleep to dream. And a lot of y'all are asleep. We trying to wake you up. We don't want to see our people suffer any longer. But for that to happen, we got to teach you the word. We got to teach you the word because we tried everything else. Think about it. We tried everything else, right? It didn't work.
We set up lands.
You tried everything else and it did not work. So now we're trying to teach you the truth. Now, what you choose to do with the truth, that's up to you. Right. All right. But we're going to do our due diligence to teach you these things so that you can stop being depressed.
Right.
So you can stop being an alcoholic. Stop being a drug addict.
Right.
Stop being domestically violent. Stop harming your community.
Come on, sir.
Do these things. We're trying to heal our people.
Let's get them.
That's all we're trying to do.
And if I may,
Go ahead.
we're trying to not let you eat the food of the other nations, the fruit of the other nations. Why? I'm gonna hit you with something right quick. Mm-hmm. Remember, we said the serpent was the devil, that old serpent in the beginning, in Genesis. Remember, we told you that a devil comes from the Greek word diablo, which means someone who is anti-God. If you're anti-God, you're anti-Christ. Why? Because God is in Christ and Christ is in the Lord. The same way that Christ is in us, we're in Christ. It's not what I'm saying. What we're saying right now is not us. This ain't us that's reading this out. We died when Christ died, but Christ is in us. Christ is not me. This is power word. It's not I that live, but Christ that lives in me. This is power word. 1 John 2:15. Love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him. I'm bringing this out for a specific reason. I'm finna hit you. Where is the Antichrist? The brother just brought it out. Where is the Antichrist? Where is the devil? 1 John 2:16. For all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh. Remember, Eve lust after what was in that tree. The lust of the flesh and the lust of the eyes. Remember what she saw with her eyes. What gave the food for thought? She lust afterward. The lust of the flesh and the lust of the eyes and the pride of life is not of the Father, but is of the world. And the world passeth away, and the lust thereof, but he that doeth the will of God abideth forever. Here's what you need to understand. The things that you lust after are in the world. Like the Antichrist is in the world. The things that are not of God is in the world. Is in what? The other nations. There you go. The Lord did not give the other nations his law, statutes, and commandments. You can do Amos 3:1. You can do Psalms 147, 19, 20. You can go to the book of Baruch, chapter 4, 1-5. It will tell you over and over and over. The laws was given to us.
You can go to Leviticus, I believe it's 26 and 46.
You can go to Leviticus 26 and 40. You can
really go that far. So,
look,
go ahead.
From Adam to Noah,
go ahead.
To Shem, to Abraham, to Isaac, to Jacob. That is who, and from Jacob it was split to the 12 tribes of Israel. Because Jacob's name was turned to Israel. These things were passed down to these men, the things that pleased the Lord. Those things that were taught to these nations were pleasing to the Lord. She went against the grain. And what she did what happens to a lot of you brothers. Your woman get in your mind. Let me tell you, brother, you come to this school out, we your brothers. We love you. We care. It's a woman, I can't give you what a woman can give you as a man. But it's things your wife can't give you that your brother can give you. Problems and situations, things that come up, you can't tell your woman the whole nine. You can tell a brother over you. You can tell your brother. You can tell your partner, your friend. You can go to counsel. This is what we're. We're here to better you. What will better you will better your household. Who's in your household? Your wife, your children. This is what we're doing right now is meant for this. We're just breaking down to you brotherhood. We're breaking down to you how this works. Your wife should not get in your ear and keep you away from us. We care about you. We care about you. We want your household to run amazingly. We love you, bro. We do. We want you to have a successful marriage. We want you to have a successful lifestyle. We want you to serve the Lord and love the Lord. We want you to be successful. We want you to reign with Christ for 1,000 years. It's going to happen. How does that happen? This truth, this law.
Exactly.
This truth. We're not telling you this out of just because we're talking. We're telling you this because we know this works. We're breaking down scripture after scripture, line upon line, precept upon precept. Everything that's being brought out to you is truth. Everything that's being brought out to you is in this Bible. We care about you. Don't listen. Don't let your woman get in your ear and tell you, oh, it's just for the kids. Let me tell you something. You can throw a party for your children anytime throughout the year. I'm a 32-year-old man. Every weekend is my birthday. You know, I drink every weekend. How about that? I can go to the club anytime I want. Why do you have to celebrate what a woman would tell you to celebrate? Oh, Halloween is just for the kids. Christmas is just for the kids. The birthday is just for the kids. That baby 2 years old, they don't even need a birthday party.
And if I could,
yes, sir.
A righteous woman wouldn't even ask you to do something.
Exactly. Why?
That's a righteous woman who does what? Follow the law. Because she knows.
And where does she get the law from? A man.
Now who does a man get it from? Christ.
And who did Christ get it from?
The Most High.
We ain't making up.
See how it is? You know, I just, Shalom on Christ. We got peace officer Kazak Ahmad.
Oh yeah, that's DC.
I see Natazak in there too.
Okay.
Not to get too off topic, we got to wrap it up in a little bit.
Yes, sir.
There's somebody, if I can find them real quick. I just seen you. I believe it goes by Broken Cycles. So I believe this is a brother. I'm not sure. They are hurt and unwilling to submit to their wife is why they are focusing on women. Now, I see no need to sweat. Let's see. I see some. I'll read it for you one more time. They are hurt and unwilling to submit to their wife is why they are focusing on women. So I already see not just like already on. Most that's a fantastic brother.
Right. Hey, that brother has been through it.
And I see some people who will say, so you telling me I gotta be beta? Let me tell it to you like this. Like everything we said.
Be a man.
Exactly. Yeah, and I see some sisters there. They're also saying like, you know, they don't agree with that. And that should let you know the women are telling you what we're saying is we love our women, right? But we also understand that our role as men, we gotta make sure that we're on top of our game.
Slacky, sir.
Go ahead.
If I may, just a really quick example. If you ever ask your woman, what do you want to eat? She does not have an answer. You better have an answer. You have to plan the date. Mm-hmm. You have to plan it. You have to be a what? A man. Right. You're gonna ask her, she's gonna say, I don't know. She just doesn't know. She don't know what why does she tell you? She wants you to lead. That's all. Hey, you get mad at us for telling you to be a leader. Hey man, just be a man.
We're just trying to help y'all out, man. Like we're not trying to put no hate speech on you or nothing. We're trying to help y'all out. Look, a woman wants a man that can lead. All right. Now, do you gotta be like, you know, the king of the planet? No, we're not saying that. We're not saying
be the king of your household.
There you go. You know, be a leader to her. So that's all. So like, I got you. That's all we're trying to tell you. For whoever this person may be saying that we are weak because we don't want to submit to our wives. Okay,
that's crazy.
You know, it's crazy because even the women are telling you like,
I want a man. They want a man.
They want a man. And you know, so I get like, I'm married. My wife don't want no weak man. Tell you that right now.
I know his wife.
I will wholeheartedly tell you that. Okay, so if the women are telling you and we telling you, I'm just putting it out there. But going back to Adam could have saved not just himself,
everybody,
but everyone and his wife.
And we could really break that down.
And all he had to do was say no. Eve was wrong. Don't get it twisted.
Right.
She was wrong. She shouldn't have listened. But it does show when you go to verse 6, right? She went to her husband. Now, what she said was wrong, but she still went to her husband,
Got in his
right?
ear.
That was the moment right there.
Right.
Adam could have said, "No, baby, we not.
Don't
We
even
not-
pay
don't
attention.
even." Matter of fact, who said this? To you?
Wait
that
out
out.
so I can
Yeah.
go beat him.
Do
Adam
something
supposed to
like
go
that.
put his hands. He was gonna put his
Something like that.
hands on that man.
All right, but that's what happened, right? And you don't want that today. You don't want that today because guess what? This is why in our communities for so long, literally hundreds of years, and it still happens, they try to push the man out. Come on, get him out because now that you're gone, well,
She got control.
if she not put it like this, if she not going to listen to you,
She's gonna listen.
she's going to listen to somebody else.
So, it's like I say.
Go ahead.
I hope I can say this because we're on TikTok. I know I can say it on YouTube. Have you? It's not gonna be that crazy.
Go ahead.
Have you ever had intercourse? A man leaves it. I hope you. Unless you don't. I don't know what you do. I say what's happening. I tell you, hey, I'm predicting what's happening. This is what we about to do right at this for this moment of time. As a man, you have to be a man. A woman wants a man. She don't want to have to run stuff. It's not. I think that's not her job.
Exactly.
And you get mad at us for telling you what a man's supposed to be. And this is why you need to be in One West.
Mm-hmm.
Because only real men are made here.
He said, not to want no smoke.
He ain't want no smoke. He ain't want it.
The Most High Christ, we see you.
We already brought that out, but the water, I'm glad you're on topic. But yes, like, you want to finish up?
We about to finish up verse
7. The book of Genesis chapter 3, verse 7. And the eyes of them both were open, and they knew that they were naked, and they sewed fig leaves together and made themselves aprons. So, let's figure out what is this word naked. In Christianity, you think naked means they were nudists. Like, you know how nasty that is?
Yeah, that's not.
That's not what we're talking about. Let's go to we're gonna break down naked. Let's go to Isaiah, the 47th chapter.
Go ahead.
If I may, so. Flipping so hard, I don't know where I'm going. Oh, Isaiah, the first one after. Isaiah 47:1. It's like
this person say, Adam was responsible because he was supposed to be the headship of his household. Yes, thank you. I'm glad some people listen.
At least you be a man. Thank you.
That's all.
You know what? Oh, we're gonna get into it next week.
Yeah.
But here's what Adam did. Adam passed the buck. Mm-hmm. You have me and his brother both was in the military. We both had brothers and sisters under us in the military. Right. Even now when you think about it, just like your household, if someone comes up to me and say my child, or let's say the airman under me was a problem, mm-hmm. I get checked. Why? I should have handled him already. Mm-hmm. I can't say as a man, as a leader, I can't say he messed up, it's on him. No, it comes down on me. That's why when I think about the ranking structure in the system, I try my best to be a great brother. Why? Because I don't want it to come down on Captain Gadar, Captain Core, Atazon, Thabo One, Waga Bar. I don't want nobody to look at them and say, y'all need to get this brother in line. Well, I'm already in line. I'm in line. I'm trying to be. You have to understand, you cannot pass the buck. We're going to get into that next week.
Yeah.
But anyway, Isaiah 47:1, come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon, sit on the ground. There is no throne, O daughter of the Chaldeans, for thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate. Take the millstones and grind meal, uncover thy locks, make bare the leg, uncover the thigh, pass over the rivers. What's being said right here is they about to work. Uncover them locks, uncover that leg. You're gonna need to breathe. Your leg's gonna need to breathe. We about to work you. That's what's being said right here. This is God's judgment upon Babylon. I'm gonna get to my point. Verse 3. Thy nakedness shall be uncovered. Yea, thy shame shall be seen. So what is nakedness? Shame. They were shamed at this point. They were shamed. When you go read this nakedness, they were shamed. When you go read Genesis 2:25, and they were both naked, the man and his wife, and were not ashamed. Meaning what? What they learned from the Lord, they were not ashamed of. Right. But once that they got the fruit, once they got the knowledge from the other nations, the knowledge of good and evil, they knew they were naked. And now they were ashamed. Why were they ashamed? They was ashamed because they knew better. A child cannot be ashamed if a child does not know what he's doing is wrong. A woman cannot be ashamed of being an adulteress when she doesn't know that being an adulteress is wrong. A man cannot be ashamed if he does not know that being an adulterer, sleeping with another man's woman, is wrong. Here's the thing. They knew what was right and they knew what was wrong. Why? The Lord told them already. The Lord gave them that. Mm-hmm. They were ashamed. Their nakedness was now uncovered. Again, what Genesis 3:7. Let's go.
Go ahead. So when it's
let's go. Let's go.
Did you finish verse 7?
I'm about to.
Go ahead. Finish.
And they sewed fig leaves together. Let me start from the top.
Go ahead.
And the eyes of them both were open, and they knew that they were naked. And they sewed fig leaves together and made themselves aprons. Mm-hmm. That's it.
Okay, so to go. Okay, so I want to go a little bit more before we close up the class, right? What his brother was bringing out. Now look at it like this: once upon a time, they did not eat of the tree of good and evil.
Right.
So they didn't put like this. They didn't know what sin was. They didn't know what it was.
They didn't know what
they just knew what was right.
Right.
And they always did what was right until they learned what was wrong.
Right.
But once they learned what was wrong, they chose to partake in what was wrong.
Come on.
And that happens today. Let me put it to you like this, right? You ever see, can you see, okay, let's take it back a little bit, like high school time, when you're at school, and you will see somebody who's very smart, right? So you see somebody who's of your nation, very smart, and they are shamed,
right? Because
they don't want to be ignorant. They say things like, okay, if you speak, if you're very educated and you speak very articulately, you want to know what they say? Well, you talk real white, because somehow today they associate education with being white. So, well, what's the opposite of white? It's black. So, what's the opposite of being educated? You're stupid.
That's crazy.
So again, going back to what we were talking about with the social media, when somebody who looks like me and this brother does not portray themselves as being dumb, right, and ignorant to appease the public, you're not accepted. Now, when you know a little something, you get mocked. It's like, oh, y'all don't know nothing. Y'all don't need to be talking about that. Y'all just lip service, and they'll clown you for it. But nobody clowns anybody for believing in zodiac signs. No one clowns you. Like, I guarantee you right now, if I was rapping and I had a blunt in my hand,
you cool.
I'm cool. No one would say. I see somebody earlier. They said, what am I watching? Trinidad James and 2 Chainz. But yes, that's what you think of. You think of that. But now we're trying to actually do our part to educate our people, and now we're mocked. Why? This is the same thing that happened with them. They were on the straight and narrow path the whole time. They were good. Now they know of what the other nations, we'll get to that in a second. We'll get to the other nations. Now they learn of the other nations. Now all of a sudden you feel like, maybe I shouldn't do that. You know what that is? That's called peer pressure.
That's it.
That's peer pressure.
Come on.
Let's say you're the one person out your friend group, you don't smoke. All your friends smoke. You're the one that's like, nah, I'm good on it. You want to know what they do? They're going to keep testing you. Like, come on, man. Like, just hit it one time.
Let's say
you good. Like, yeah, that's Satan. That's a liar. That's that serpent. Again, circling around you. You probably shouldn't be friends with them. That's what you should do.
If you're that weak.
Yeah. If you, I would advise you, if you don't want to do that, don't hang out with people that are like that. Because you know what they're going to do? That serpent is going to keep circling around you, and they're going to keep kind of like nitpicking. Like, oh, just one time. You know, they might not do it today. They'll do it tomorrow. They might do it next week. It might not even be all. It might be like 2 out of 7 people you know.
And they're talking about you behind your back.
Oh, and they're talking about you. That most definitely. And it's peer pressure. Now you feel this shame, which you shouldn't. Now you realize you're naked. Come on. Just like how they realized they were naked. Not literally, they're not nudist, but it's shame. It's this feeling of, oh, I don't fit in with everybody. I don't appease the social norm. So maybe I should do what everybody else is doing. That way I can fit in. That's what Adam and Eve did, sadly. Right. They wanted to fit in with the other nations, and they weren't supposed to do that. They were supposed to be holy, meaning what? Holy means separate or sacred. Special,
peculiar.
But now that they did that, you're not holy.
Right.
You're not a special people no more because now you're just like everybody else.
It's like it.
Go ahead.
Everyone in the world is, you know what's funny? I see a lot of women. I see it all the time. Even brothers, but a lot of women, they were like, ain't nobody like me. I'm special. Let me tell you something, baby. You just like every other one I've met in my life. You like every last single one I've met in my life. Every last single one. You're not different. You celebrate Christmas, you celebrate Halloween, you just celebrated Thanksgiving. You got a loud mouth, you talk back. I gotta work so hard just to get you to listen. You are not different from anybody else. You are because you know astrology sign. Let me tell you, every last single one of y'all know astrology sign.
I know them too.
I know
we know.
We know. We're here.
Yeah.
We're here. We don't listen to that. We don't follow it. Right. If you want to be something different, be the opposite of Eve. That's where you get the word naive from, because you're near Eve. Nigh comes from the word near. You're near Eve, meaning what? You're near ignorance. You're near lack of wisdom. You're near lack of understanding. You're near Eve. What Eve did, you're near that. You don't want to be nigh Adam as a man. Hey man, don't cower down to what your woman was saying. I want to touch some pretty pink toes.
I don't know who that is.
I lead sometimes respectfully. If you could, what do you mean you lead by? And I would hope you women understand. If you could just reply in the chat. Just because you have more money than your man does not mean you lead. That don't make you a leader because you have more money than somebody. There are plenty of people with money, and that does not make them a leader. Mm-hmm. There are plenty of people in authority, and they are horrible leaders. Don't think because you have money it makes you a leader. Not putting that on you, but don't. And that's where a lot of women make the mistake at. They think because they have we have a step there.
Keep that to yourself.
As long, I hope you stay with that man. Just stay with that man.
Yeah, that's it. I would just say keep that.
Stay with that man. And it's okay. It's undefiled. The bedroom is undefiled.
You know,
we were just speaking in general terms.
Yeah, no sweat.
What?
What I was gonna say lastly,
we gotta do fig leaves.
Oh, sorry.
And the eyes of them both were open, and they knew that they were naked, and they sewed fig leaves together and made themselves aprons. So now, what does sewing fig leaves mean? They sewed these leaves together. Remember Ezekiel 31, we brought out how the cedar tree in Lebanon was Assyrian. Why are they sewing leaves together? They're sewing more and more together. They're sewing more and more things from the other nations together. The things from other trees. Remember, a fig leaf only can come from a fig tree. Why do they have to add, or why do they have to keep sewing leaves together? 30 years. Good job. Go out, sis. Stay with him. Why do they have to sew these fig leaves together? Why do they have to add more fig leaves together? Why do they have to add more things together? It's like adding layers of clothing. Remember, we talked about being naked. The shame. Exactly. You have to add more to it. When you tell a lie, you have to add more lies to that lie.
Exactly.
You should not have to add, you shouldn't have to add more lies to lie. Why? Because you shouldn't have lied in the first place. If Eve would have just told the truth, what is the truth? The law. Where's the law recorded at? In the Bible. Who was the law given to? Adam. If she would just have told the truth, and he would have came with her with the truth when she came to him and told her what it is, they would not have to add more and more fig leaves. They would not have to sew them together and add more and more fig leaves. It's like clothes. You add more clothes because you're cold. Now you're naked. Now you have to add more and more and more. Don't be like Adam, brothers, sisters. Don't be like Eve.
Yeah, don't do that. There are righteous women, like some very righteous women in the Bible and in the Apocrypha. One of them got their own book.
She does.
I'm not going to read all of it. Like there are some good examples.
We're gonna do Purim in a few months.
I know. Esther.
Esther.
right? Let's see. The history of Susanna. That's
Honest and righteous
a
sister.
very like. I'm not gonna tell you what happened. Maybe one day we may go over it. I'll tell you right now, that sister was faced with the possibility of death.
Right.
They were about to unalive that woman, but she stayed 10 toes down and she was righteous the entire way. And she won. Let's see, shouldn't
You
have
right.
entertained the presence of an enemy.
You right.
Absolutely. But to go, I'm not gonna go too much because we're about to wrap it up in a little bit. She said, Eve, yeah, I know. Eve shouldn't have entertained the presence of an enemy. That's a very good trait. You shouldn't entertain it. But the reason why I said earlier, there's a reason why that serpent went to Eve when she's alone, is because that's how your enemy gets you. You want to know how they deconstructed us, our ancestors during slavery? They did it a lot, but one of the ways was to separate us.
That's it.
They separate you from your woman.
Right.
And then it started to breed this idea of, okay, well, whenever the oppressor had to do business with us, they go to the mother. There is no father. And now she has sons. Guess what? The son has no proper father figure or male authority to follow. So guess what he's gonna be? He'll be strong physically. That brother can be 6'5",
Right.
you know, bench, I don't know, 350 or whatever. Okay, that's cool.
Emotionally.
But mentally,
Right.
He's weak. And now, let's say he has a sister. The sister, she's following after her mother.
And sees that there's no man. I don't need a man.
Yeah. Yes.
And the son is like, well, my mama had a man. I don't want to be a man.
That's this. Ooh, that's a whole nother breakdown. But that's why. Go to the woman when the man is not around. That's what was happening. And this is in the beginning.
Come on.
This is before all this. But before the transatlantic slave trade, before all this. This was in the Bible. Ways to deconstruct the household. And that's what was done. And sadly, it worked.
Every time.
But to touch on what she said, yes, a woman should not entertain an enemy. You shouldn't be entertaining another man anyway.
Period.
Like, period.
Why did you choose your man?
Yeah, like if somebody say something to you, like you just walk away, do what you got to do, and like go tell your husband, like, hey, this is weird. Like, we get out of here. Like that's a righteous woman. And as a righteous man, get your woman up out of there. If you got to confront that dude, confront him,
And don't be a man
and protect her. Protect her from herself if you have to.
Right.
But Sloppy, that's all we got on that. All right. But okay. But with that being said, I just want to say Tawada to everybody that tuned in on both YouTube and also on TikTok. Shout out to Policeman Officer Natazak. I know he's causing damage. Right. I already see you. But we're about to wrap up the class. We'll be going live again next Saturday. Every Saturday we do the Sabbath service. So we went through the book of Genesis, chapter 1 through 7. Then we're going to go through the rest of the verses, next 7 verses. Right. In Hebrew, we'll continue to break down from the very beginning all the way through, right? So let's see. You want to everybody that's tuned in on TikTok? Let's see.
I don't know what the number is.
That's just the analytics. But with that being said, so now we're going to be closing the class. So me and this brother up here, Almighty.
It does happen. It's bad in a lot. La Yashala, which means to Israel. Majim, Wapan Yahakodum, which means to rise and face the east. We'll be doing the prayers in the Hebrew. This is the Lord's Prayer. Abanawa, Shabbat Shemayim, Wadash, Haya, Shamka, Yahweh, Balawaka, Taba'a, Ratazaka, Haya, Aisha, Ma'arataza, Kawa, Haya, Bashamayim, the thunder now, the come, Paul, your woman, Wasalak now, Kabawafki now, Kasalak now, Kabawafki now, Wala'a, Tabayanawa, Balasai was, Abal, Awashai now, Mayan, Rai, Kaya, Laka, Kamalakwa, Waha'ala, Wahatapara, I William, Amen. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Yahweh, thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. So be it. Hakak, the power. It's like amen. Hakak, the power in the Hebrew, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Babakashai, the thunder now, Hakak, Larpa'ah, Kal Maka'Allah, Kal Malawa, Hakak, Latahar, Hamata Zarayam, Hakak, Laquayam, Hamakim, Hakak, Awakawa, Hatama'ala, the Garshun, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, the water, Amen.
Now in the English. Yahweh.
Yahweh.
In the name of Yahweh.
In the name of Yahweh,
Please
give
us the power.
us the power,
The power to heal.
all manner of sickness,
All manner of
and all manner of disease.
Power to cleanse the
The
leper.
power to cleanse the lepers,
Power to raise the dead.
the power to raise the dead,
Power against unclean
the
spirits.
power against unclean spirits,
Cast them out.
to cast them out.
Name
In the name of Yahweh, thank you.
So be it.
So be it. This is the blessings in the Hebrew. Barakatah Yahweh,
Barakatah Yahweh.
Wa Yahweh Shai, Wa Ma'aka Allah, Wa Alahayim, Wa Tazab Ya'ah, Allah Wap Yahana, Hala Wap Yah, Hasarunyas, Hakwataz Ayonya, Haka Ayonya, Waha Wa Akim, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, the water, Amen.
Now in the English. Bless you, Yahweh.
Bless you, Yahweh,
And Yahweh Shai.
and Yahweh Shai,
And Mike.
and Michael,
And the angel.
and the angel,
Commanding General
the
Yahweh.
manager in your hood,
The general.
the general, the captain, the officer, the troop,
And the sister.
and the sister,
Yahweh.
Yahweh,
In the name of Yahweh
in
Shai.
the name of Yahweh Shai.
Thank you.
So be it. Psalms 121 in the Hebrew. Asha'ah, Ayanya, Ahoyim, Mayan, Yaba'ah, Azoya, Ma'ayin, Yahweh, Aisha, Shemayim, Wa'aratazah, All Yathan, Lamawat, Yagalka, All Yanawam, Shamarka, Hana, La'ah, Yanawam, Mala'ah, Yashan, Shawamar, Yasha'ala, Yahweh, Shamarka, Yahweh, Tazarka, Al Yad, Yamyakan, Yawamam, Ashmash, La'ah, Yakaka, Wayarat, Bala Yala, Yahweh, Yashamarka, Bakal, Rai, Yashamar, After Pashka, Yahweh, Yashamar, Taza Africa, Waba Wa'aka, Ma'aita, Ma'ait, I will up.
Psalms 121 in English. I will lift up my eyes into the hills.
I will lift up mine eyes into the hills.
From whence cometh my
From
help?
which cometh my help?
Help comes from the
My
Lord.
help coming from the
Which
Lord,
made heaven and earth.
which made heaven and earth.
He will not suffer thy foot to
He will
be
not
moved.
suffer thy foot to be moved.
He that keepeth thee
He that keepeth thee
will not slumber.
will not slumber.
Behold,
Behold,
he that keepeth Israel
he that keepeth Israel
will not slumber,
shall not slumber
nor sleep.
nor sleep.
The Lord is thy keeper.
The Lord is thy
The
keeper.
Lord is thy shade.
The Lord is thy shade
Upon thy right hand.
upon thy right hand.
The sun shall not smite thee by
The sun shall not smite thee by day.
The sun shall not smite thee by day,
The sun shall not smite thee by day,
nor the moon by night.
nor the moon by night.
The Lord shall preserve thee
The Lord shall preserve thee
all
from
evil.
all evil.
He shall preserve thy soul.
He shall preserve thy soul.
The Lord shall preserve thy going
The
out
Lord shall preserve thy going out
and thy coming
and thy coming in.
This time
From
forth
this time forth
and even
forevermore. Psalms 83. Alahayim. All Damiyalaka.
all the
All Takarash. Wa all Tashikwat. All Kayahana. Our Yabyaka. Yahama Yawan. Wa Ash. All Imaka. Yaira Yamwa. Sawada. Wayata. Yatazawa. Al Tazapamwanyaka. Amawa. Lakawa. Walakakida. Magaya. Wala'a. Yazakar. Shum. Yasha'ala. Awada. Kaya. Nawatazawa. Laba. Yakadwa. Ayuka. Barya. Yakarathwa. Ahaya. Alawam. Wa. Yashama. Alayam. Mawa'aba. Wahakaria. Gabal. Wamawan. Wamalak. Alashap. I'm Yashabi. Tazawar. Gumashawar. Nalawa. Amam. Ayawa. Sarawai. Abanya Lawat. Salah. Aisha. Lahum. Gamagam. Kasaya. Sara'ah. Kayabian. Balakal. for Yashua, Nashamawa, Bayan, Yara, Hayawa, Daman, La Dama, Shatamu, Nada, Yamawa, Kaira, Wakasa Abba, Wakasa Bak, Wakasa Zalmana, Carl, Nasa Yakumwa, Ashar, Amarwa, Naya Rasha, Nanawa, Nawa, Alahayam, Alahaya, Shayatamu, the Gargala, the Quash, the Punya, Babaka, Kaash, Shaba Ira, the Ira, Wa Kalahaba, Dalahat, Horium, Kun, Tawadapma, Masa Ira, Babasa, Pafka, Tabahalam, Mala'a, Payaham, Palawam, Waya, Quashwa, Shamka, Yahweh, Yabashwa, Waya, Yahawa, Ai, Waya, Kaparwa, Waya, Abawa, Waya, Dawa, Kaya, Ata, Shamka, Yahweh, Labaka, Aliwa, Alkal, Al-Ratazah.
This is Psalm 83 in the Hebrew. Keep not thy silence, O God.
Keep not thy silence, O God.
Hold not thy peace.
Hold not thy peace.
And be not still.
And be not still.
O God.
O God. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head.
They have taken crafty counsel.
They have taken crafty counsel
against thy people.
and
against
consulted
thy hidden ones.
They have said,
Come,
come,
let us cut them off.
and let us cut them off
From being
from being a nation.
The name of
That's
Israel.
the name of Israel.
No more
Maybe no more in remembrance.
So they have consulted together.
Well, they have consulted together
With one consent.
with one consent.
They're confederate against
They are confederate against
the
the
tabernacles
tabernacles of Edom
and the Ishmaelites
and the Israelites
of
of
Moab
Moab
and Hagarine
and Hagarine,
Baal
Gabal
and
and Ammon
Amalek
and Amalek,
Philistines
the Philistines,
with the inhabitants of
with the
Tyre.
inhabitants of Tyre.
So also
The sword also is joined with them.
they have hope in the church of
They have
God.
hope in the children of Lot.
Salah. Do unto them
Do unto them
as to the
as
Midianites,
unto the Midianites,
as to Sisera,
as to Sisera,
as to Jabin,
as to Jabin, as the brook of Kasun,
which perished at Endor.
which perished at Endor.
They became as dung for the earth.
They became as dung for the earth.
Make their nobles like a
Make
ram,
their nobles like Oreb
like Zeeb.
and like Zaid.
Yea, all their princes
All their princes
as Zabah
as Zabah
and as Amun.
and as Amun,
Who said,
who said,
let us take to ourselves
let us take to ourselves
the houses of
the
God
houses of God
in possession.
in possession.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Make them like a wheel.
Make them like a wheel
As a stubble.
as a
before the
stubble
wind.
before the wind,
As a fire burns.
as the fire burns the wood,
Flames set the mountains
and
on
as the
fire.
flames set the mountains on fire.
So persecute them.
So persecute them
with thy tempest.
with thy temper
Make them afraid.
and make them afraid
with thy storm.
with thy storm.
Fill their faces with shame.
Fill their faces with
And
shame,
then they seek thy
that
name.
they may seek thy name.
Oh Lord.
Oh Lord,
Let them be confounded.
let them be confounded and troubled forever.
Yea.
Yea,
Let them be put to shame.
let them be put to shame
And perish.
and purged,
They may know
that men may know
that thou,
that thou,
name alone,
whose name alone
is Yahweh,
is Yahweh,
the Most High,
art the Most High over all the earth.
Sorry. Class dismissed.